Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the ESL Dota 2 Malaysia Singapore Championship. This is week 6, day number 2. 2 more series, 4 games, and 4 more teams fighting for that playoff spot. I'm HusKKiee, and I'm joined by Danelie.
Well, HusKKiee, we're almost at the end of the journey for some of these teams. Some will be knocked out, some will stay, some will go to the playoffs, like you say. And I think in particular for 2 teams, these last couple of matches are going to be so important. It could be 3, depending on how it ends up for next week. But for this week, for today, well, there's one important match. And it's our first match of the day, which is GeekFam versus FlowerGaming.
And before we delve into that, let us give you guys a quick sit rep for what happened yesterday in case you guys missed it. It's going to be Team Legenda tying the series against Dota Hero, with both teams making crucial mistakes during the mid to late game phase, which ended up in a loss. And P1 Gaming forfeiting their series against Unicorns, which automatically gave Unicorns 6 points. Meant nothing, but the only thing that is meaningful for that series is that Unicorns will remain undefeated.
Yep. I suppose as well we should also talk about the points for Dota Hero. Their match yesterday was very important because, as you can see right now in the standings, it's now pushed Dota Hero into a 2-way tie currently with GeekFam because of their 1 victory yesterday. If they had 2 wins yesterday, they would actually be tied with FlowerGaming.
Yeah, and P1 Gaming, because of their forfeit, they will still sit with 12 points. They only have 1 more series next week to try and make it to the playoffs. Legenda is a long shot. They need to win both their games and pray that Dota Hero and GeekFam win nothing next week. JuniorGaming, unfortunately, they're out.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of outcomes that could possibly happen, but I think the most likely one is it's going to be a 2-way tie between GeekFam and Dota Hero. But we'll have to see. We still need to see GeekFam play today. It's against FlowerGaming, one of the strongest teams. Unfortunately, not the strongest. We've already had that major head-to-head between Flower and Unicorns. We can say the second strongest in the tournament. It's going to be a tough one for GeekFam.
Yeah, and especially when GeekFam has been on a downhill trajectory ever since week number 1. Actually, week number 1 is the only week that they get a 2-0, and after that it was just 1-1, 1-1, 1-1, forfeit, 1-1, 1-1, and now here they are tied with Dota Hero, and a lot of expectations were kind of broken because people like you and I did predict GeekFam to be at least in top 3, but they're barely scraping top 4.
Yeah, it's a little bit scary for GeekFam fans out there. I was about to be a bit tongue-tied. Just a heads up as well for people that are currently confused as well, for the real GeekFams out there. So, unfortunately, this roster for GeekFam, this is the previous roster under the GeekFam name. They are currently playing for GeekFam in this tournament because GeekFam have taken up a new team, including Mushi, Raven, and a couple of other players. If you are well aware, you'll know them. Unfortunately, this is the old GeekFam. After this tournament, I believe these players will not be under the GeekFam flag anymore.
Yeah, and this will be your final 2 weeks for you guys to support the ex-GeekFam.
Excuse me, it still could be the playoffs.
All right.
They might make it.
Yeah, they might make it. So it's a couple of weeks. Yep, better to support this ex-GeekFam roster. They have come a long way. It's unfortunate that, like you mentioned, the roster swap had to happen for the organization. However, still doesn't mean that these players are out yet. It's just that they won't be tied to GeekFam after ESL this championship. But there's still a chance, right? They are still tied with Dota Hero at 15 points. And the advantage right now is that Dota Hero only has 2 more games, while they have 4 more.
But they're really tough 4 games, because for people that don't know the schedule for next week's games, GeekFam are up against Unicorns next week, the strongest team in the tournament. I think, if anything, we haven't seen Unicorns go for any funky strategies. They've been playing very strong, very stable. We haven't seen them actually try any weird strats.
No,
so I think the chances of GeekFam winning those games very slim. There is a slim chance of a 1-1. A 2-0? I mean, if they do it, that'll be a major statement.
Yeah, and that will solidify their spots in playoffs as well. But since you brought up next week, Dota Hero also has a tough match next week.
Oh, yeah.
Against TeamX, who is currently in 2nd place with 21 points. One of the dark horses for the first 2 or 3 weeks, but after week number 3, TeamX just blew up.
Exactly. I don't know what it was that happened for TeamX, they came in, I think a lot of people, us included, probably didn't expect them to go as far as they did, but they've shown us that they're fully capable. The synergy is down. They're a very strong team. Of course, they have their downsides as well, but it seems like they're trying to improve on those weaknesses by training their other members so that they're not so reliant. I know in the first couple of weeks it was very fixers heavy, but then after that, his teammates started to really pick up. So I think TeamX, they acknowledge what's happening, and I really feel like they're becoming better and better every week.
Yeah, and since we're looking at the next week's schedule, Legenda still has a very slim chance of tying 4th place. And that is, again, like I mentioned, if the other teams loses all their games. Because
exactly.
I'm confident that Legenda should be able to 2-0 JuniorGaming, which would lock them in with 15 points. But it's a big if.
It's a big if. I want to say the big X factor is Dota Hero.
Yeah.
I honestly think Dota Hero, they have the best chance of actually making it through by getting those really crucial wins. Legenda, theirs is all by chance.
Yeah.
Very, very much by chance. GeekFam, very slim chance, just because of who they're up against.
Yeah, and this is crunch time for all of the teams. But for Team Legenda, you can only live on a prayer at this point. And this was why we emphasized so much come week 4, a few weeks ago when week 4 started, that every single game matters. You can't just go 1-1 and not expect any repercussions, because this is what Legenda is facing right now. They drop 1-1, 1-1, 0-2, and they can only pray that their opponents lose.
Yeah. I mean, every team so far, they've had different journeys leading up to this point. GeekFam probably getting the really short end of the stick, having the strongest teams at the very end, whereas some of the other teams have got the so-and-so weaker teams. Not to disrespect the teams, but I think it's just a power hierarchy amongst everyone. We kind of have an idea as to what tier some of these teams are in and what sort of tiers other teams are into.
Yeah, we did the hierarchy, I think, in week number 2 or week number 3. I guess it's worth discussing in a bit. But before that, we're going to play you guys the highlights of week number 5 to catch up on all the action that's transpired. And with that, enjoy the clip. The OD and the Troll are not together. FlowerGaming, it's best that they don't fight.
Key item that is on Trozam right now is his Blink Dagger.
Yeah.
Now, I think they're hoping DDZ follows this creep wave, but there's 3 of them here, and they could be in for a little bit of a bait play because Dazzle, I think, is in lane.
Yeah, this is 3 versus 3. They're going to initiate onto CZY and Trozam. Channel the Epicenter is going to go right in with the arrow. He gets on the 2 and Sunstrike on top of the OD. Most important target. Barry will be the second one to fall as Mozun with the Static Storm is going to trap Kang, but it doesn't matter. Stormhammer will connect and Mercury will run in to get the 3rd. Unicorn is running over FlowerGaming and Cannylun has to run away. Yeah, he can easily just throw shot away, but
I don't know if it's easily. There's a lot of heroes here.
There's 4 heroes for this offlane Sand King. They're going to slow down his side of progression. Stolen Burrow Strike. Sand King goes into the Sandstorm. Dodge the Torrent and TP the safety.
Okay,
Space created.
lots of space created. Finishes up his Tranquil Boots as well. Oh my gosh, look at this!
Smoke. They're gonna see Brian, and Brian's gonna be the first to go down. They doom up the Undying, and that's the target. But Alacrity with the Tidebringer brings the Ocean to P1. Instant double kill for the Pirate.
What a disaster.
3 kills for GeekFam. It might be 4 as Beaver now caught alone, stranded in the battlefield.
Zombies.
Disaster for P1. Seems like OD might be the next to follow. They create a great telekinesis on the Nature's Prophet. That's Juni away with the 2-man Hoofstorm. OD still surviving, has the Crimson Guard on him, trying to heal up with that Netotoxic lifesteal. Moon trying his best, steals the spell, doesn't get the Black Hole though, as the Black Hole only commits onto the Viper and the Rubik, but that should be enough to finish off JuniorGaming.
Look
Moon
at how low they are.
But OD survives through all that, and they get almost a team wide. That's 4 kills, bound to be 5. Chidori pops that BKB, stands his ground, still trying to go for the Viper, but forced to TP away.
That's a defensive BKB as well. Oh my goodness.
They need to get something out of this. They really need to. They got the hacks. Insidious going in.
Ravage?
Insidious pops the
What?
BKB. Can he get anyone? Kira is at the back. They're going to catch the Witch Doctor out, but that's just the support. Still have the Winter's Curse to look out for. That's the hack. That's the RP coming in. You need luck to do the damage, but there is the Winter's Curse. Going to lock down luck. Waste that BKB. Ravage is used as well. Fix is not going to work. Reaper's Sight comes right out. 0 damage. Onto the Magnus, and now Tootie is going to go to work. Danelie is now called right out. Skewered away though. 3-man RP. Tootie brings the home. Brings takes everything back, and that should be the game-winning RP if TeamX makes this work out. 2 members now, make it 3. TeamX will strike Legenda 3 times, make it 4. 3 strikes and you're out. TeamX for the 3rd time in a row win the fight.
What is going on?
And they might just win this game. Yeah.
I mean, he
didn't even gust. He didn't bother gusting as well.
But, I mean, he did gust.
QWE.
He just didn't do anything.
They're stuck though, trying to go on Tino. They get
The
the
black
black
hole!
hole! KYXY finds the miracle black hole, and Tino will go to work, go downtown, bring it back home, baby. GeekFam, give this guy a medal as QWE will be the last one alive, and P1, they will concede. GeekFam equalize the series.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed some of those clips. They were essentially the best clips of our games last week. We're going to be compiling this week's games as well. I have to say, we had some really awesome clips from yesterday. I was going to say last week for some reason. Yesterday, we had some really cool clips. I'm really excited. Well, we are really excited to show you those. But HusKKiee, did I just see something? It's something called a draft.
Yep.
What was that?
I'm more excited. I'm excited about last week's highlights, but I want to see what happens during the drafting phase, because the picks and bets are ready. Finally, we'll see GeekFam take on FlowerGaming. We jump right in to the hero selection.
Alright, also a note for people that are confused as to who Umbrella Academy is. It's still GeekFam. You can see in the bottom right, they're tagged as GeekFam. I'm guessing because they're the previous roster, GeekFam took back the team tag.
Yeah, I mean, it could be so.
I'm not really sure, to be honest.
Well, we ended last week's highlight with a KYXY Black Hole, which was very fitting and very deserving. But however,
is
now
that gonna be enough for FlowerGaming?
They are in their own black hole right now. They're up against the 2nd strongest team.
Alright, so before they start picking up some of these heroes, I think we have to address the elephant in the room, which is one of the major issues with GeekFam so far, is that I don't know how to explain what this thing is. I've called it Sleeping Beauty syndrome for GeekFam. This GeekFam, they have this issue when they go into a best of 2. Game 1 is always the hardest, rockiest series of their matches. Game 2, you can see that they definitely pick up. They've got the energy, the synergy is down, the draft is better. But it always seems like Game 1 is the biggest hurdle for GeekFam coming into these best of 2 series. And I think this is a serious problem when you're playing a tournament based on best of 2s to collect points. If it's best of 3, we're probably looking at a different story. But best of 2, you can't necessarily think this is acceptable.
And it was what brought GeekFam down to this level, to this state where if they lose every single game from now on, Dota Hero is going to move on, or has a really huge chance of moving on. They could have 2-0 at least 2 series, but they just dropped the ball.
But we'll see this week, because they're up against Flower. They're probably going to be very alert. I honestly think if they're not awake for this first game, you're already looking at a lot of issues here for GeekFam, because Flower, we've seen Flower, as they play more games, they just get stronger and stronger.
Yeah,
the more games they play. Game 1, they play as normal FlowerGaming. Game 2 is when they start to kick it up into gear.
And it's not like other teams like Legenda or TeamX, where you can just lose game 1 and come back swinging game number 2. It's not the same with FlowerGaming, nor Unicorns. Because FlowerGaming, if they beat you game 1, they will give you a harder beatdown in game number 2.
Yeah, so let's see if GeekFam can actually pull something out of the magic hat. Can they pull out a strat, something that they haven't played before? Maybe try to outgame FlowerGaming in the drafting phase, because especially with some of the bigger teams, you can tell that the draft really dictates how the lanes go, how the movements happen, and how the mid-game transition is going to be for some of these teams. Because you can tell GeekFam, they're very reliant on their mid-game transition and their tempo. If they get slow tempo after the lanes, they really tend to struggle to catch up in terms of farm, in terms of getting ganks, looking into getting objectives. Drow is a good hero when it comes to objectives, because she's a naturally very good at smashing towers, pretty decent late game, also a great combination with any range heroes because they get access to this extra attack speed. But you got to get front lines as well, and you need to have decent lanes if you're running Drow, because Drow doesn't farm like your traditional carries that can just sort of zoom around the jungle and kill everything. Drow's a little bit slower, she's a little more static.
Yeah, and FlowerGaming picked him up one of the heroes that we expected to see more, which is the HusKKiee. And surprisingly, he hasn't made too much of an appearance, but when he does, it always almost ends up in a win. So Winter Wyvern being the second pick basically means that FlowerGaming has so much control over GeekFam. Almost say Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, lots of control. Big middle finger to Drow Ranger as well, because Drow only does physical damage, unfortunately. So the Cold Embrace possibly going to buy time for FlowerGaming to come in with their reinforcements. Also, Winter's Curse. If Drow gets caught in that and she's next to a target, she just shreds her own teammates.
Yeah, and Winter's Curse also adds on extra attack speed to whoever that is affected. You combine it with Precision Aura, Drow just turns into a machine gun.
Against her own team.
Yeah,
so
against her own teammates.
It's sort of a double-edged sword. Although Wyvern is a little bit weaker in the laning phase, she's not very good in an aggressive position. She's very good when it comes to poking, when it comes to slows. But if you're up against a tri-lane, for example, Wyvern does sort of teeter on the edge of being underpowered / weaker, because she doesn't have the best counterplay in terms of her skill kit. I mean, she's fine, but she's very, very level dependent when she wants to use a Splinter Blast during the fights. It's very mana heavy as well. So I'm curious to see if maybe Umbrella Academy consider trying to play aggressive, maybe go for an aggressive dual lane off lane, something such as Undying +1, to really try to put some pressure onto Flower so that they can alleviate pressure from their own Drow Ranger.
Yeah, but Undying is going to be not that good of a choice simply because of a Shaker. If you get enough zombies in, Shaker can really rock the battlefield with the Echo Slam. However, I would actually prefer if GeekFam just go for like a Centaur, a Tidehunter, someone that can frontline for this Drow to come online, because it is at this point it's pretty much obvious. If you pick Drow, you're going for a pushing strat, a range strat. You need that frontline. That frontline becomes even more important. So FlowerGaming, they see through that immediately.
Ooh,
you can see
hang
from
on.
events.
I'm just wondering, could we possibly see the... Hang on, let's look at the heroes banned. Oh no, they're both banned. I was going to say Leshrac Sven offlane. We've seen that combo before. It's crazy strong. We don't get any of those, unfortunately. And we have some very squishy supports on Umbrella. The defensive capabilities are okay, but when it comes to offense during the laning phase, Oracle and Rubik, not too impressive.
Yeah, no, they can save the cores really well, especially Oracle. The Precision Aura actually works pretty well with Oracle, considering how fast he attacks, how good his attack animation actually is. Has long range spells, so you can kind of add on that little bit of harass element. However, when it comes to being offensive, like you pointed out, GeekFam is just not good in that department. And FlowerGaming, they haven't even revealed the main properties of their composition. And Centaur, which I would wish on GeekFam, has ended up in FlowerGaming's hands.
Centaur is technically, I want to say, a soft counter to Drow, because you've got gap close now to just jump right on top of the Drow. I mean, she can gust you, but she'll gust you after you've already casted the Stampede.
Yeah.
So Centaur being on FlowerGaming side, very, very strong hero, benefits the whole team, super tanky. Umbrella's going to have to look at the Centaur and think, well, guys, we've got to pick something that can protect the Drow. Now, they've got good supports, but in the middle of a team fight, I can see both Oracle and Rubik just getting shredded.
Yeah, which was why I really wanted GeekFam to get that front line first. You can save Oracle for 4th pick, because the supports were already picked by FlowerGaming. You don't have to worry them taking the Oracle away. You don't have to worry about the ban as well, because you still have one more pick after that Oracle pick, if it's not Oracle.
Yeah.
So GeekFam, they might have messed up the drafts. We are not
It's
sure,
a bit hard to say.
but it's a bit hard.
I'd say KYXY, one of his stronger offlaners is the Tidehunter. It's still in the pool, very good anti-team fight control. If Flower decide to initiate, you throw the Ravage yourself, you turn the team fights around. But instead, we're looking at an offlane Sand King, which a little bit on the squishier side when it comes to your offlanes. He's actually very elusive. He'll be very good at dodging Wyvern Shaker as support, so it'll be quite difficult for Flower to kill. But in terms of being a front line, I don't think he's enough to protect a Drow Ranger. I mean, he can probably cause enough issues in the front lines to keep Flower busy, but knowing Flower, they're gonna shotgun the Drow.
Yeah, and Sand King has seen a particularly high win rate across the entire league. Whenever Sand King is picked, it's almost guaranteed that the team will win. There's a couple of losses on this hero, but the overall performance of whoever plays Sand King has been very satisfying to watch. But right now, GeekFam, like you mentioned, hasn't really solved the frontline issue. They haven't really solved the problem of how to defend or how to protect the Drow Rangers. Sure, you have the Oracle, but if a Stampede goes off and Earthshaker gets that blink, it's a different story. They can rush your backline without having to worry about a Burrow epicenter.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty tough game. Looking at mid laners for GeekFam, I'm just trying to think, like, what could you really run? Because you don't normally get frontliners in the middle lane anymore. I think the old one was DK. I mean, DK could kind of benefit from this lineup. He's a frontliner, he's another stun, he's very tanky. But the thing with DK is that he's one of those very unfortunate mid laners where he's got a very good laning stage, but he dips down because his potency during mid game drops until he gets level 2 in his ultimate and he has access to the Fire Dragon. But until then, he's a bit on the weaker end. Ember being picked up by Flower. I mean, this is perfect. You've got a way to go into the back lines, Searing Chains, split push.
I'm actually, for some reason, I'm thinking maybe GeekFam could go for an SF mid or something.
SF? To try and go for a glass cannon? I was thinking maybe OD.
Yeah,
in
OD
case
would
someone
do
gets
fine as
jumped
well.
on, then you can at least Astral, but it's a double-edged sword because if you're running OD and you Astral, it's set up for the Wyvern.
Yeah. I think SF would be... yeah, OD is banned now, so it could be SF.
That's the
You can still
Lance
kind of go for
Mirana.
something like Alina. It's still kind of viable for GeekFam.
I mean, she can't really frontline.
But
It's like putting
yeah.
2 glass cannons in a lineup that can't really tank. It's you're putting
They have limited options.
you're putting pillows in front of them to protect them. It's like, all right, here's some pillows. Good luck, have fun. Hopefully you come out on the other side, and they'll come out as feathers. So FlowerGaming, Mirana. I'm assuming that's going to be for Lance. He plays a lot of Mirana. I actually like seeing Lance playing on the Mirana because he comes out of his shell and starts playing more aggressively. And Invoker ends up being the last pick for GeekFam. Combos with the Drow, but unless you're getting kills in the lane with Invoker with Sunstrikes, he also suffers from the same thing as DK. The only difference is Invoker laning is weaker than DK.
Yeah.
They're gonna need a little bit of time for him to come up. I'm hoping here, fingers crossed for GeekFam fans here, your supports and your Sand King, they're gonna have to do some heavy lifting during the laning stage.
Yeah, and especially for the Invoker, has a weaker laning stage, like you say, compared to the Dragon Knight. During the mid game, if Alacrity has to resort to the Midas build, it's going to stall that Aghanim's even longer, and it will severely impede GeekFam's ability to fight FlowerGaming until he gets that axe. So the laning phase is super important. You want to get those Sunstrikes in as much as you can. My only issue is, can GeekFam find those kills in lane?
Yeah, I'm curious to see if we're going to see a different Invoker build, because Invokers nowadays, they always seem to go for Exort. If we're maybe going to see Quas Wex to try and cause that sort of confusion, to create that gap between your Drow and the front line, and also to disrupt the Centaur, because Centaur Stampede duration, it's not as long as you think it is. It feels long, but Tornado, I mean, that can really throw things out for you.
Tornado is super long. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You can
definitely.
go like Quas Vex and then build a use. Just anything to disrupt the backline, because you don't really need that constant damage from your Exort. You have the Drow for that. You have the Sand King to disrupt the backline. The extra utility would definitely help when you're up against Centaur that runs at you. Your Earthshaker that can blink in an Echo Slam.
I'm just worried though. I still think he's going to have to go for Exort though. Because looking at the supports that they're running, if he was running other supports like Shaman, Lion, someone that's got some sort of quick bit of burst, then he could resort back to the utility, but I think that he has to run Exort just for that damage.
Yeah, just for the Sunstrike.
It's Rubik Oracle. I mean, those two together, they're very weak until level 6.
Yeah, and even their laning phase is kind of weak as well compared to FlowerGaming, because you have the Sunstrike. Now what, you need to drop it on top of your target, but GeekFam does not have that much lockdown. It's just a Barrel Strike. The Gust is unreliable. Telekinesis is unreliable as well, especially like level 1 or 2. The lift duration is so short. You basically just lift him up and the guy just drops back down. But we'll see how it works out.
Yeah, I think that's really the biggest thing. We're gonna have to see.
Yeah. Well, I believe the game is ready. We're gonna jump in. Game number 1 between FlowerGaming and GeekFam.
Alrighty, let's see. GeekFam, are they awake from their slumber?
Yeah.
I'm hoping they're awake. Someone give them coffee, some caffeine. What else wakes you up? Ice?
Red Bull.
That's caffeine.
Wait, what?
That's what.
That's caffeine?
You didn't know caffeine is in Red Bull?
No.
There's caffeine in Red Bull. Clearly, you don't drink enough of it. It's fine.
I mean, I do, but it never worked on me, so...
Oh, do you drink coffee?
Yes, I do.
That's probably why then coffee's
ineffective as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, something's wrong with you then.
I honestly think something is.
Either that or you're not drinking caffeine at all. You're drinking some other stuff. Okay, wait. Red Bull. Are you drinking the European one?
The European one.
Okay, I was gonna say if it was the Asian one, that stuff doesn't work. That's like all sugar. Okay, sugar it does not keep you awake. Okay, that's rubbish. And also, I don't know what Invoker's doing here. He's
juggling his exort.
I don't know. It's like he's playing hide and seek with someone.
Invoker is always this very egoistic mage.
Yeah, you know the worst part. Wait till you see someone with the little baby persona invoker.
Oh.
That's gonna be worse because that's gonna be a kid.
A kid mocking you.
And yeah, exactly. Could you imagine in a pub you get the little mini invoker on the other team starts insulting you, throwing curse words. You're like, but you're just a kid. It's the worst thing.
Oh.
Alrighty.
There we go. Settings are done.
Missing bottom.
There we go.
Really interested to see how GeekFam plays this because this is their most important match.
Yep.
You know, I cannot stress this enough.
Honestly, here I have a little bit of faith in Alacrity. He does play a very good invoker, but again, glaring issue with the draft. They don't have anything that can really create the space that they need.
Yeah, gotta agree with that.
Okay, hang on. I just need to look at these lanes here. So, looks like it's gonna be traditional. Is it 2-2 for Flower? Flower are looking to do 2-2. Wyvern.
Yeah, I think it
Wyvern
is.
Ember. Oh wait,
Wyvern
okay. Question: is this Lance Marana or is this DDZ Marana?
Wait,
It's DDZ Marana.
Yeah.
Okay, normally Lance runs the Marana. I thought it was gonna be DDZ on the Ember. I guess they changed around a little bit.
Yeah, Mirana against Invoker also very decent. Invoker cannot really fight Mirana early on.
Yeah, if he gets hit with arrows, very very dangerous.
They have
hang on,
perfect setup.
what is that balloon?
The snake balloon, Control R. So it's like, you know, Chinese New Year, they have this pig shape balloon.
Is that permanent or does it
No,
disappear?
it disappears, unfortunately.
Okay.
You can beat some drums as well.
They put too much stuff in the game. You just wait. Someone's gonna win TI because of this stuff.
When you start winning and then you just play drums.
No. It could be like they play it for the sound effect.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, they'll just be like, hey guys, I'm over here. Come after me, play my drums.
Yeah, I think Mirana being in the middle lane also kind of helps with rotations, because now you have access to both lanes instead of having to just purposely TP for a gank. You can always go top if you need, if you always go bot if you need, and Invoker cannot really match that early on, and even if he does, he doesn't provide much.
I mean, the best way for him to match is Sunstrike.
Yeah.
But that's assuming you even hit the Sunstrikes. Best chance, I think, would be bottom lane, because you've got set up by a Sand King. Sand King disables pretty good at all levels.
Especially against the Wyvern as well. You
Yeah.
Barrel Strike Wyvern, if Mozone ever cold embraces, then
Oh, first blood already, and it's on the Oracle.
I was about to say if he cold embraces, it's going to be a free kill for Alacrity, but seems like Candyland will draw the first blood onto Oracle.
I guess it's mostly because it's Shaker Centaur.
Yeah.
Both Drow and Oracle can't actually go over the fissure. And they're both very, very squishy heroes. I mean, we mentioned this already. You're running a very squishy support with a very squishy carry. You're going up against a Centaur. You don't have many options when it comes to getting away. It's Gust or a no-go. And I mean, look, again, they're going to try.
There's no double edge for now, so lucky for Tino, unfortunately, it's not just a tanky offlaner, it's an offlaner that reflects damage back onto you.
Reflects damage, and then you have a support that basically combos so well with the Centaur. You close that mode of exit, and suddenly you got a Centaur in your face.
Oh, they messed up the last hit. Unlucky. Okay, there we go.
Alright, coordination. Teamwork. Middle lane, though, Alacrity's doing pretty well against DDZ. Is up to 13 CS compared to the 8 on the Marana. So it's not looking too bad for the Invoker. I'm curious to see what kind of build we're looking at for Alacrity. It is going to be Hanamitis.
Yeah.
So he's not going to bypass to the cheaper build, the 4 stuff.
Yeah, nor the use. I honestly think use is going to be really good on Invoker this game.
Yeah, I could see Yules being really good against a Centaur. If he comes running at you, just throw him in the air. Take a little bit of time for him to go away. Looks at Rampo. Oh boy.
Going to throw Lance back with the telekinesis, but that will leave KYXY kind of stranded in the middle of the creep wave. Just managed to get out, but a rotation coming in from Barry. Alacrity will get DDZ, however, collective efforts from Barry and DDZ will trade Alacrity back.
That's unfortunate though. It's a two-man gank on the side of Flower. I mean, they got the Invoker, but you're losing DDZ first. That is unfortunately a huge loss in the gank because that means Invoker is going to get the EXP from that before he dies.
Yeah.
DDZ didn't get anything. And I think they got a bigger bounty on DDZ as well for that too. So for Alacrity, you're not going to be upset at all.
And that's the usage of the Sunstrike. It landed perfectly on both of those heroes, but the Retaliate is used, double edge. Oracle is just a free meal for the Centaur, and now Sunstrike comes right down. Doesn't hit, but it doesn't matter. KYXY will get Lance. So GeekFam starting to kind of respond to what FlowerGaming is trying to do, and they're doing it quite effectively.
Oh, Tino.
Except for Tino.
He needs some help. Have we got any TPs? Nice gust.
MVP creep blocking Barry for the longest time ever. He actually blocked Barry in the tree lines.
Tino's going to be careful because he's losing HP by going onto Candy Loon.
Oh, at least the top lane for GeekFam will survive for now.
Yeah, and Drow's farming too. She's not being completely shut down.
Yeah.
So the farm is equal between her and the Centaur. I mean, it should be better than this, but considering your lane matchup, Shaker Centaur versus Oracle Drow, I think this is pretty decent for the Drow. I was expecting her to die more, but I suppose the reinforcement and also the juking as well from the Drow, just getting very lucky by being ganked right next to a tree line.
And Oracle also is one of those heroes that doesn't really require too much items to be effective because his skills are always effective. You have a Purge, an AoE Purge, a 0 cast point, damage / heal.
Oh no, blocked.
You have the Fate's Edict and the False Promise, which is like the biggest ultimate that doesn't require any items. Doesn't get in range for the Purifying Flames though, but even if he did, I doubt that he'll be able to kill the Earthshaker, but that does isolate Candy Loon. They did bring in the Rubik, however, Candy Loon is just too healthy to be killed off.
Some great news here for GeekFam. I have to say their lanes are looking very solid. They're leading in the CS charts on all of their lanes. The one that seems to be struggling is actually DDZ on the Mirana. So I guess Alacrity's he's giving the Mirana a run for his money, and they're going to run into Barry. They also see Rampo and DDZ's coming in.
Yeah, it should be a free kill for DDZ. Telekinesis does bring DDZ back over the fissure, but great! Cold Snap will keep Barry in place, and now Alacrity turning this around. Sunstrike on point. Invoker will find that counter kill.
Beautiful reaction coming in from GeekFam that nets Alacrity another kill. That's a fail gank on Flower, and that's just going to send the Mirana further and further behind in that one-on-one matchup in the middle lane. But KYXY looks like he might be in trouble.
Yet retaliation from FlowerGaming, they will get the off lane of GeekFam. However, failing a gank on a support basically allow Alacrity to just extend his lead, as you pointed out. Sure, you can lose the Sand King, but Sand King can always find a way to come back. You can go for the Sandstorm, level 2, level 3, and just start clearing out the wave. Candy Loon is now left alone in the top lane. Rotations won't be coming in anytime soon as Earthshaker did TP bot, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, they found Rampo.
Gets a lucky Haste Rune plus the Stampede. They will surely get Rubik this time as Candy Loon runs over Brian. So good news for FlowerGaming, they find another 2 kills across the map.
That was with one Stampede as well, so good coordination across the map. They were saying, alright, we gank 1, we gank 2. 2 birds with 1 stone. I mean, it's just both supports. It doesn't really impact the other lanes. It just means that Stampede is now officially down, but looks like KYXY, he was being chased by 3. Oh, Sunstrike, not gonna land.
Yeah, FlowerGaming with a bit of a spidey senses, anticipating that Sunstrike, they will just sidestep it.
It's good stuff. Now Wyvern gonna put herself to good use, start healing the was it Ember? Oh no, Shaker. She healed the Shaker. So the supports can sustain during the laning stage. And it looks like Tino, he's gonna abandon the top lane and just go back into the jungle, which I think is a good idea. You don't want to be alone in that top lane with the Centaur, especially if your supports don't have access to their TPs because they used it to go down bottom. So sure, they'll have to give away that top tower, but at least Drow is safe. And wow, are they gonna get Lance?
Oh, Lance dodges the initial damage to
Sunstrike!
Fist. Sunstrike, oh, Lance, just great patience. Purifying Flames will heal up KYXY. Mozun will be the second to go. And it will be the Rubik Rampo picking up the double kill. So great news for the Rubik.
It's going to be 2 for 1. They did lose KYXY in the process though, so both supports for the off lane. It's It's unfortunate for KYXY. He would have loved to survive because it means he doesn't lose his gold. And it looks like, according to KYXY, they're a little bit worried about where DDZ is. He's in the middle lane.
However, GeekFam lost control of top lane completely.
I think it was inevitable.
Yeah.
They couldn't dedicate resources to protect it. They have a mid laner that needs to farm. Bottom was under siege. You're running a drow. Can't really leave her up there. So I think what they're going to do here is they're going to trade. They're saying, all right, Flower, you can take that top lane. The center is not fighting with you. We're going to fight with the rest of your team while you're not here so that we have control of these team fights. And Alacrity was being jumped on. Oh, the fissure.
Yes.
Almost enough to take him down.
If it weren't for that cold snap, Alacrity would have definitely died to DDZ.
Yeah, I think the 2 hits, I think 2 or 3 right clicks from Mirana before that would have been enough. Oh, they found Rampo.
Lance now engaging onto the Rubik, trying to take back some of the goal. However, no searing change will allow.
Oh, he
Rampo
cancels
to
it too. Okay.
Oh, wait.
He doesn't even.
Oh, wait,
use it.
what?
He
Oh.
cancelled the TP.
Yeah, but at the same time, there's Shaker, Billy Barry on the hunt. Does see both Tino and Brian. Clearly, they even dropped the sentry.
Oh,
That's
they
perfect.
know.
Now they know where Barry is. They channel the fortunes and they find Barry as the damage start coming through. The Sunstrike just a bit too late.
Oh, Moonlight Shadow as well. Alrighty.
A lot of commitment to save the team.
Are they going to try and gank someone with this? No, that's
no one's
going to
there.
be just used to save the Shaker. A lot of the times, the first Moonlight Shadow is... It's either to protect someone very important or it's to go for a gank, but they're not doing any of that.
And the crit wave is not in position for Flower to dive GeekFam as well. So slightly unfortunate right there. Alacrity trading with DDZ. He will win that out. But
He's still dominating. If anything,
Yes,
some people
yeah.
will think like, oh, this is even. For an Invoker, this is dominating.
yeah.
Invoker loses a lot of matchups.
And the fact that he's going even, actually a bit ahead of the Mirana, is a big deal for Alacrity.
Oh, yeah, especially when he's trying to go for Hannah Midas first as well. He's going to outfarm the Mirana by a mile. And if anything, biggest winner here was Centaur. He practically got a free lane. But this is also going to have to be a sign for Flower. They need to hit a very good mid-game timing.
And
You can't let them play passive.
that was so unlucky. FlowerGaming smoked right as Rampo walked past, so the smoke got broken. They get Rampo in return, but Barry does die to Alacrity once more. Stampede is popped for the Oracle. They will find the Oracle, however, that is all that they will get.
Yep, so 2 more supports going down and another support onto Flower. But for GeekFam, they honestly don't care if they're losing supports because Drow and Invoker are farming. They're not being ganked, they're not being pressured. Map control is still in control for GeekFam side of the map. They're not scared. And if you're Flower, you got to be concerned because look at the lineup Flower is running. You're running Ember Mirana. Mirana and Ember. Ember probably can go late game quite decently against Invoker Drow, but Mirana, she's going to be a step behind in terms of late game scalability. I mean, Invoker is one of the craziest heroes to go up against in the late game because he has so much control. You got the Deafening Blast, you have the Cataclysm you have to worry about. When he hits 25, you don't want to play against an Invoker.
Yeah, and come to think of it, GeekFam do have a lot of tools to kind of deal with the Ember. Ember likes to dive in with the Fire Remnant, go for the Slide of Fist, but if he gets gusted when he comes out of the Slide of Fist,
Even
he's dead.
Mirana, if
Even Mirana,
he gust Mirana, she can't leap, she can't reposition. She'll have to use her Hurricane Pike because a lot of Miranas go for a 4-stuff Hurricane Pike. And you don't want to use that defensively. You want to go for the Hurricane to go for the long-range hits. Oh!
Ooh, that was so close. That gust was just a tad too late from Tino.
Yeah, I think if he just cast it a little bit later, he would have caught it. But maybe just trying to be in safe range
Yeah.
when going for the gust.
If the gust landed, the leap would have gotten DDZ the distance, but now they're trying to engage on the DDZ with that Moonlight Shadow. Great Tornado. Might not be enough to save Alacrity, though. Alacrity does drop the meteor before he goes down, so they might be able to catch DDZ. Lance, but Lance is protected by that co-embrace. As Tino will now try to turn onto Mozun. Great burst drive for KYXY. Echo Slam comes out, but Barry does not have the damage. Stampede in retaliation. They get the Hoofstorm onto KYXY, but great gust again. Now they turn their attention onto Lance as Lance is stunned up by the arrow stolen by the Rubik. So great kill right there from GeekFam.
Now Candy
it
Loon
might be
stuck.
Candy Loon third as the armor-piercing arrows will fly through. Tino gets the double kill, and GeekFam, they get 4.
Oh, Flower, they dived so deep to grab the Invoker kill. They got it, but it took them too long to grab the kill. They committed so many spells, and then all of a sudden, they're stuck in a small choke point in the river, and GeekFam come in from the high ground with their gusts. Their supports have come in, and then KYXY coming in from the north, catching out DDZ. DDZ's a tempo controller. Yeah, sure, Lance can grab some kills, but he's still in that phase where he needs to farm. He's still fragile. He's still easy to kill. I have to say, Candy Loon, he came in, he hits like a truck. But one Stampede is down because he's not running his Blink Dagger yet. He's actually gone for the Hood first.
The Hood first.
He doesn't have a lot of mobility. He just sort of runs in, does his thing, and then if he doesn't have an escape mode, he's just going to get cut down by Drow.
Yeah, and the most unfortunate part of FlowerGaming was that they did not have the consistent damage output from the Ember because he was Cold Embrace.
Not just that, I think I also forgot to mention this. Shaker tried to use the Echo to save his teammates, but it was too late.
It was too late.
If he saved the Echo for some a later portion of that fight, it would have gone completely differently because they would have had a stun.
Get the Winter's Curse onto the Invoker.
Look at the TPs though, they don't have the damage.
TP coming in, Stolen Arrow again, lands on the Centaur, perfect target to go for. Gus does come through, False Promise will save Alacrity, and now DDZ is stuck. Stolen Fisher will stop Canelo and Barry in their tracks. They lose DDZ and they lose Mozun. GeekFam with a perfect rotation will get 2 more kills.
And we saw the exact same thing. They just couldn't kill their target fast enough. They used so many spells, but then Oracle comes in, False Promise, couldn't even grab the kill onto the Invoker that they wanted to, and they lose DDZ again.
Yeah, and Alacrity was just so happy. That was, I believe, the 3rd or 4th time that FlowerGaming tried to do something to kill off Alacrity, but they just end up losing members.
It just comes down to the fact that they don't have a lot of burst.
Yeah.
Oh, they might lose Rampo here. Double leap as well.
Yeah, perfect arrow. They will finally get the Rubik in return, but the damage has been done. Rubik has accomplished so much with a stolen Sacred Arrow, and that fissure was actually perfect. They get the arrow, I believe, onto Candy Loon, stops him, then they fissure block the Shaker and the Centaur, so there was no way FlowerGaming could get into the fight to save DDZ, and since there was no Cold Embrace, no Winter's Curse, Mozun is just a sitting duck.
Yeah, Candy Loon, he definitely needs to get that Blink Dagger up ASAP. They need the gap closed because outside of Candy Loon, they don't have anyone that can just jump right into the fights and start everything. Yeah. And the fact that you're playing with your own Earthshaker, I mean, Earthshaker is a double-edged sword. If you're playing a melee hero and the fissure goes out and hits the wrong angle, it can block you out from the fights entirely. So, I mean, you're up against a Rubik too, so it could be double fissures on the map. It's really going to be a bit of a struggle, and oh my goodness, they found another support kill. Yeah,
but it's just a support. At this point, the Oracle is valuable for the False Promise, and nothing much. You know, Tino
needs to get out of there.
Senses something is fishy, loses Oracle in the process, so she should know not to stay there. As FlowerGaming will start planting down those deep wards. One thing I think we didn't point out earlier on was the fact that FlowerGaming they kind of didn't get the tempo that they wanted.
They didn't. Yeah, I was very impressed with how GeekFam managed their lanes because we've seen in the past couple of weeks, sometimes they're very stubborn with their lanes. Even though they're losing, they'll stick around. But they made the right moves. They rotated heroes around. And I think forfeiting the top tower was such a good play because it just gave Tino space to farm.
Yeah, and also, wouldn't say it's a criticism to Candy Loon, but I was surprised he didn't consider rushing for a straight blink, having given that much space, because it would change the course of the last 2 fights. He didn't even need to be tanky. He just needed to engage with the blink and then stampede out.
Yeah, the Shaker can fulfill that role though now, because he's got the blink. They found the Drow here. There should be a kill.
False Promise though.
Can they?
They keep Mercury alive.
Is anyone coming though? It looks like they're just gonna leave the Drow.
That's a lot of commitment though.
I mean, if Oracle just let her die, I really think he would have been able to get out too. He should die here.
Yeah, he should be able
there
to
should be a disable. No disable? Okay. Nothing to stun. Not even a fissure? No. I guess Barry wasn't in range.
Yeah, it was on cooldown. They used it to cancel the Drow TP. And there's a lot of time bought for GeekFam. They had to give up Tino in the process, which was unfortunate.
I think Tino's not really phased though.
Rampo.
Okay, I don't know how he knew Rampo was there. Let's see if Rampo can get away though.
Yeah, I think he saw the trajectory of the Fate Bolt, so Rampo trying to be cheeky, but will pay with his life.
sometimes you don't want to do that. But I guess Rampo loves to live on the crazy side, doesn't he?
Yeah.
All right, so the kill lead is in favor of Flower. They have a slight gold lead. Now, mind you, this is slight. You're up against a lineup that can fully utilize items. The only thing here, I believe Alacrity still only has the Midas. Hang on a second. So he only has the Midas. He's getting pretty close to his Ags. It's not too bad. So his effective net worth is actually starting to come online. I was going to say if he only had the Midas, he doesn't necessarily have effective net worth that can help the team.
Yeah.
But because it's almost got the Ags, it's already fully paid off the hand of Midas.
Yeah, and once he hits that axe, it would be, he would technically have a 2.5 core item advantage instead of just one core item.
Oh no,
They're gonna find Mercury again. Moonlight should have committed, but they should have the false promise. Fortune's End's gonna purge off any damage. Winter's Curse gets used, but Tino not effective for now. That's the tornado. It missed. They couldn't even kill off Brian. Now Brian is safe. They used the Stampede. Full commitment. KYXY is ready. Stolen Winter's Curse. Perfect. I believe on to Cannylun. They do manage to find the Oracle, but it's just the Oracle. Cannylun now blinks forward. They will find the Drow. Drow finally goes down. Brian finally spies back. But it's a great Echo Slam. Will catch the backline off guard. The meatball rolls through, but it doesn't matter. Mozun survives. Somehow with the close embrace. KYXY trying to find scraps, but he will not find it. And FlowerGaming, they will wipe GeekFam.
Mega kill streak for the Mirana. That fight could have gone completely wrong if a couple of those things didn't happen. They managed to find the Drow with the arrow mid-TP, so Tino couldn't even get out. Got found out by the Centaur. DDZ got so lucky. His Maelstrom procced on the Drow while she was getting away. If it didn't land, I don't think they should have gotten the kill onto Drow. After that, their team just practically crumbled. They were all in a small space. They've used all of their major spells. They've used the Winter's Curse to try and protect the Drow, which they could have used to counter-fight. But unfortunately, I think GeekFam, they just thought, we're on our side of the map, it's okay.
And the most unfortunate part was that Alacrity's tornado was too short. He tried to use it to save Tino, but it dissipated before it even reached the target. So
that's what happens.
They did not have any defensive mechanism. Now it will stall the Aghanim for a bit more. And had Alacrity acquired the Aghanims before that fight,
it would have been different.
Yeah, slightly different.
Yeah, so for Flower, they're going to be very happy with that. They're less than 1k gold lead. Again, Tino.
Tino can't be alone like this.
I gotta say, that's a mistake. He shouldn't really be exposing himself like that. Maybe he was going to try and tell his team, all right, guys, I'm going to go down bot. Let's try and go for a bait. But he's dead before the crew's ready. Oh, and they've been spotted arrow. They
did find the Ember, but great arrow fissure. Now they stampede again. Blink in. Cannylun has the item that he needs. They find the Oracle. No false promise. Means that Rubik will die. And KYXY waiting for the barrel strike to come back in. Pops the Sandstorm, but they do have vision. KYXY not going to find the range out. And he should be dead at this point. Alacrity would just abandon ship. But you can see Mozun looking for the Invoker. Not going to get it as he will Ghost Walk out of the fight. But FlowerGaming, they find another 4 kills onto GeekFam.
GeekFam, they were looking so good after the laning stage, and then all of a sudden, they've lost 2 major fights. The first one was the one we literally just saw less than 5 minutes before this engage, and all of a sudden, you're looking at high ground from Flower because the fight happened so close to the enemy base. They're about to lose Alacrity.
They might lose Cannylun because of the gust. The Glimmer is due, so Cannylun barely survives. And now Fable comes in, picking up that killing spree. Sunstrike! Oh, barely misses the DDZ. But the Winter's Curse used, and Rubik will be killed by Tino. The arrow follows up. And Tino dies again. Moton actually gets the double kill. So FlowerGaming happy with that trade.
Tino, I don't know if I should feel bad or if it's not even luck. He's put himself into a lot of positions where I feel like I can understand why he's there, but it's just so unfortunate because there's no one there to protect him every single time. He kills his own teammate, it helps sets up for an arrow. He's died 3 times within the past 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's your farming Drow. It's your carry. They should be in the jungle getting items to continue scaling for this game. But this has delayed him of 5 minutes worth of farm, which is so important on a Drow.
And to bring back to the point where you mentioned how GeekFam were performing so good after the laning stage, they won 2 major fights, 2 minor skirmishes, and now everything just went down the drain because
everything went crumbling.
Yeah.
Less than 5 minutes ago, all of a sudden, Flower are leading by 6k gold.
Yeah, it was less than 1k, and
it was handed to them on a silver platter. they fought so well. They're looking for the opportunities, and the game's just going to get worse now because Flower have amazing mid-game tempo with these kinds of heroes.
They pop the drum and Stampede. Alacrity is definitely caught out. The Sunstrike
No
doesn't even
buyback.
land. They get the dust off. KYXY is going to die before, but not before he gets that Burrow Strike or Fate Bolt. Not enough as Mozun has the co-embrace. So they're going to get the Fissure off. Stolen Slide of Fist as a Rubik with a bit of shenanigans will only result in his death.
Oh, this game it's not going to get better than this. They need to stabilize. I feel the problem here with GeekFam is that they're always getting caught and they always seem to want to fight when they shouldn't. Their lineup is not built to fight.
What?
Oh,
What is he
Tino!
doing there? What? Why?
Tino! And there's the mass pings as well from Rubik.
She shouldn't be there. Why?
Maybe he's trying to get away from an observer. I'm not sure. He's maybe trying to sneak around an observer ward, but
I mean, he could have just TP because no one was in range.
I have no idea. I mean, this is going to be a 23-minute tower.
Yeah.
First tower. It's a mid-tower as well. It's going to be super annoying to defend. Oh,
Great
beautiful tornado.
But the arrow connects, which means damage output's not there for Alacrity. Fissure follow up. KYXY stunned and found out as a Slide of Fist from Lance will do the damage that is needed. Sunstrike connects onto Barry, but it's just Barry. Alacrity will be found and caught out with the dust, and this should be another team wipe for FlowerGaming. GeekFam, the family is crumbling right now. 23 minutes into the game.
Oh, they're crumbling. They even called GG.
What?
They even called GG.
Huh?
Can we see the gold graph, please? There we go. That's how the game ended up.
I am actually upset with how GeekFam...
I'm very surprised. Honestly, I think they just got tilted after they lost fight after fight after fight. When their lineup, they had a lead before.
Yeah.
They were winning fights because they were basically farmed with so much gold that they shouldn't have had that gold.
Yeah.
They lost the one fight. They still thought they had the lead. They continued to try to fight, and they kept losing, which was feeding so much gold away to FlowerGaming. FlowerGaming is such a strong mid-game lineup against Drow Invoker. These heroes don't hit their peaks until 35-40 minutes.
Yeah, and
Tino.
Tino was frontlining for some reason.
I'm not sure what happened with Tino today. There was very... It was very uncharacteristic.
It felt like he might have gotten tilted.
It's either tilted or maybe he's not comfortable playing a ranged carry because he was very, very frontwards in these fights.
Oh yeah.
Maybe he's more used to melee heroes being a little bit tankier that can survive and can fight as well, but maybe caught off guard. Honestly, I don't know what the problem was, but he got caught way too many times. They were doing so well. I'm not putting the blame all on Tino. I actually think it was a team problem because GeekFam did continue to try to fight when Flower was gaining so much from these fights.
And also credits to FlowerGaming because I believe that GeekFam never dewarded that deep ward on top of the cliff on the top right side of the jungle.
Yep.
So it was constantly giving information to FlowerGaming. And the first time Tino got called out, they lost the fight, they missed the tornado, etc., etc. And Tino revived, respawned, came back, decided to just walk straight down. FlowerGaming just smoked up, went for a second kill, and I believe that was basically over for GeekFam.
I think that one, he was trying to set up for a counter gank with this team. Because this whole team was coming in, they were smoking in, but he died before they got there.
They found Ember, but it didn't matter. So
yeah, I mean, that was very, very frustrating game for GeekFam, I have to say. It seemed like it was very frustrating. I'm hoping for Game 2, they sort of calm down, reconsider their choices. Maybe, if anything, reconsider their strategy because they did so well. But execution for mid-game was very questionable.
Yeah, for me, I think GeekFam are not used to the draw strat. They play a more tanky frontline carry. We'll see if that happens because they have one more game to salvage this. But before that, we'll go on a short break and then we will be right back. And we're back for more Dota action at the ESL Dota 2 Malaysia Singapore Championship Week 6, Day 2. This is the second last week of the group stage. And GeekFam only has one last game this evening to potentially turn things around against FlowerGaming, who bowled over them in the mid game.
It wasn't supposed to be a complete thrashing, because that's what it ended up being. I think a lot of mistakes were made in such a short span of time that it just blew out of control. There was nothing GeekFam could do. I think, let's be real, GeekFam played really well during the laning stage. They got farm on their heroes. They were well on their way to a pretty clean mid game.
Oh yeah.
And then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose in the bottom lane. And within 5 minutes, 3 team fights have happened, and they've all gone in the way of FlowerGaming.
Yeah, and I think the worst part for GeekFam was that out of all those team fights, FlowerGaming never needed to reset. They win one fight, they duck back into the fog of war, they come back with a smoke, they duck back in, come back with Moonlight Shadow, and it was just rinse and repeat for FlowerGaming.
Yeah, they had a very team fight draft where they've got a lot of spells on short cooldowns, whereas you compare it to GeekFam, they have spells as well, but some of them are on very long cooldowns that they can't do 2 team fights back to back.
Yeah.
So hopefully things change a little bit for GeekFam. If anything, they might have to reevaluate what happened. Maybe take it a little bit slower. Don't always engage unless you have a team fight lineup.
We'll see if GeekFam adheres to that, because the draft is ready for game number 2. We'll jump right in. Picks and bans, FlowerGaming versus GeekFam.
My biggest concern here is I'm hoping Tino isn't tilted right now, because he had a really, really rough time in those last 5 minutes. He got gunned down 3 times in a row.
Yeah, that is actually a really brutal way to end a game.
Yeah, it's not a nice way to finish the game, because they were doing so well, and then all of a sudden everything just goes downhill. So, I mean, I don't know if this is going to be a carry spend yet. It could be support, but you're running a Baden, so I'm assuming this is going to be carry spend. This seems more like Tino's jam, to be real. It's something tanky. It can frontline. He can be a little bit reckless with this hero, because you also have the Warcry to give you the bonus armor. So if this is Tino's hero, I'm happy for this. This feels more Tino-y.
Yeah, and I honestly think that Tino will be on the Sven. I don't see anyone else suitable for that role.
Unless it's like some weird KYXY offlane Sven.
Please no.
Lashtrack, but they ban Lashtrack, so I don't think so.
And let's put KYXY on Tide Hunter or Centaur, Sand King. I think that would be perfect for
I mean,
chaos.
I'd still be down for Sand King now, because you're running Sven and Sand King.
Oh yeah. 2
very tanky heroes, lots of disables, both of them able to output a lot of damage as well. So if they go for Sand King again for KYXY, I really think it's fine. FlowerGaming, a little bit more scared of KYXY's Bat Rider, and I think this is definitely something you need to keep an eye on. It's one of his key heroes, something he plays best, and also a pretty good hero at sort of catching a Drow Ranger when she's not looking. Just sort of lasso and catch her.
Yeah, and now FlowerGaming are going for the Drow strat. GeekFam did it in game number 1, didn't work out, and FlowerGaming maybe planning to show GeekFam how it is actually done.
I'm suspecting the Drow Venge for some reason. It's happened before.
I mean, even Drow Mirana would be awesome. You still put Mirana back in the middle lane.
And you've got a Shaman to pair up with the Mirana as well, so a very reliable hero to set up the arrows like Wyvern. So we'll see what it ends up being for now.
Yeah.
Razor
is banned now.
So Razor's banned. I'm trying to think, why would you ban Razor? Because Razor is not a hero that is a Drow counter. Drow sort of plays against a Razor, just gust him away, can't really chase you. What heroes are worried about a Razor?
Mirana, anyone that... Mirana, TA...
I mean, TA is definitely one of them. Heroes that are in the front line.
Even Ember, to some extent, would be afraid of Razor.
So they might be worried about a... But this is... there's no way this is DDZ Drow. This is definitely Lance Drow.
I refuse to believe that it's DDZ Drow either. I mean, this early into the picks, I don't think you want to review DDZ Drow. We might never know for now. It depends on the rest of the draft.
Because the only thing I can think of is, I know Centaur doesn't appreciate Razor. Tidehunter also doesn't appreciate Razor. Any of those like really frontline burly heroes that like to just sit in the middle of a fight.
I think Flower can go for Brewmaster actually.
Brewmasters? Yeah, Brewmasters does not like Razor.
There we go.
Brew's great too versus Finn. Yeah. Super annoying.
Even against Abaddon.
You just throw him in the air. You can throw Abaddon in the air. I mean, if anything, you just throw Razor. Throw Sven in the air. Can't do anything.
Yeah.
Melee. They got no way to cancel it.
Yeah, and he has the missed chance as well, which is perfect. Perfect for laning, great survivability, and
I mean, Bruce shouldn't die in the off lane.
no, I don't
At all.
think he will.
And I wish this was DDZ Panda. We haven't seen DDZ play any of these like really old school tanky mid laners. You know the old metas where it's like Timbersaw, Brew mid, and then occasionally DK. I mean
DK.
I don't think DDZ's DK was that great when I was in the meta. It wasn't. You can tell he wasn't comfortable on DK.
DK is too one-dimensional. It's like
It's very
Ori.
carry-like. It's very
Yeah.
carry-like, and I mean DDZ can carry too, but he doesn't look confident when he's playing a farming mid. Like he can't play the Medusas. He can't play. I don't think I've seen him play PL. Normally that'll be a Lance
No.
hero.
yeah, that's.
So he doesn't really play those mid farming heroes. And Lion game picked up by GeekFam. I mean that's sort of the burst that they needed last game. Something that can go into the fight. You get Finger of Death, get that instant kill.
Yeah, and a lot of fights, GeekFam lost. They didn't manage to get anything because it was all damaged over time. You have the cold embrace. That kind of counteracts that, but if they had a Lion or even a Shadow Shaman, all they needed was an Ether Shock, a Finger of Death, and they would have secured some of the kills on the cores because the cores were sitting in the fight with cold embrace on them.
Yeah. Laning for Panda in the off lane. Oh, they're doing it. They're doing it. They're doing the Venge Drow again. Oh my goodness.
I think last time they did it, they didn't have a Panda. Let me just check my notes.
Yeah, you have the notes. I was just going to mention Lion is very good here against Brewmaster because first you got double disables, you pair it up with the Sven. Brew can annoy Lion, but with the Sven in lane, the Sven should be able to keep the Brewmaster at bay, and you can just sap up his mana because Brew doesn't have a very good mana pool. You can just mana drain him, and he won't really have much to work with. Can you not find the notes?
I'm trying to. I remember that it was against Dota Hero. I just need to
I think it was very early on. It was week 2, week 3.
Yeah.
That would have
I think
been.
it was week 2.
I'm pretty sure it was week 2. Week 2, week 3.
3. Yeah.
Is it week 3?
Wait, where did it go? Oh, yeah,
Last
there we
week.
go. Oracle. Wait, what? Where's the drop? Oh yeah. Venge, Puck, Tusker, Bounty Hunter, and Drow.
Oh, okay. So it's a bit different. They had a bounty hunter back then, so no bounty. I mean, it's fine. GeekFam picking up the Centaur. GeekFam's running a very tanky lineup this time.
Yeah, they want.
It's not glass cannon like last game. It's a lot tankier, more in your face, and it's the perfect lineup against Drow Venge. Because Drow's role is to just be a nuisance, to keep heroes away. Same with Brewmaster. Drow wants to be at the back behind these heroes, but now you've got several ways to get into the back lines. You've got Sven, who's eventually going to just pick up a BKB. He can run back there. You can't do anything. Centaur, Stampede, Blink. Lion going to be a huge pain for the Venge and the Shaman as well, because some really nicely landed Earth Spikes and Hexes can just absolutely destroy someone like Shaman, even Venge. Venge is a little bit squishy at the beginning of the fight since she's going to be in the front lines.
Yeah, and Brewmaster won't be getting a BKB anytime soon. So if you get a Hex on the Brewmaster and you kill him off.
Question. Who played Drow in that game? Because I think this is... I was going to say, it sounds like it's going to be DDZ Drow then.
Yeah. It's a Lance Venge.
I mean, we said it wasn't going to be DDZ, but all of a sudden he's playing Drow.
When the Venge came out, it was pretty obvious at this point.
I was just thinking maybe they're trying to change. I don't think so. I think it will still be...
I think GeekFam can go for Invoker once more if they want to.
Honestly, I'd be fine if... Oh, OD's banned, sorry.
Yeah.
OD's banned.
OD's banned.
They could even maybe go for SF.
Oh yeah, SF actually works.
Yeah, backlines, minus armor, helps with the Sven. Great for Roche taking, super tanky, and I mean, he's not really going to struggle versus Drow. Drow can poke him, but he can poke Drow back.
Yeah, so the Ember is banned out, and FlowerGaming knows what's up. You don't want an Ember to be that third hero that dives your backline. It's just too much to deal with. And GeekFam has insanely good Blink Dagger users. Same as FlowerGaming, Shaman, and Brewmaster will appreciate that item a lot, but the amount of impact that you can put out with Blink Dagger, if you put it on GeekFam, it's way more compared to FlowerGaming.
Alright. Now, there is a slight chance that this is a support Venge. Slight chance.
Slight chance.
So if it's a slight chance of a support Venge, what are we looking at for the final pick?
It's going to be a support, no, it's going to be a mid lane.
It's either mid lane or safe lane. Because we've seen DDZ play Drow, but I feel like it was just under very, very particular circumstances that he had to play Drow.
I mean,
because you look at this lineup, right? I honestly cannot. I don't think they can run Venge Drow against this lineup.
yeah, and last time they did this against Dota Hero, they were fooling around a bit. They even had Bounty Hunter
I mean, the bounty
as the off lane.
The bounty helped though, because the
It did.
bounty was just feeding them gold. Oh boy. Let's see, Geek Fam, how they're going to play this. I honestly think they're going to have to look for something that can scale with the Sven. You can't rely solely on the Sven to scale late game because you never know. It's Dota. This game could go very late. Also something to help them push because their push is a little bit poor. It's all on the Sven so far. They don't really have anyone else that can do it. And Kunkka?
Ooh, I love this.
Perfect. You have X. It's Necrophos. So we are looking at DDZ Necrophos or is it Lance? DDZ?
Oh, it's actually
So Lance is playing the Drow.
Oh, DDZ Necrophos, yeah.
Yep.
There we go.
Okay. I mean, this is fine. Necrophos is very good at cutting down some of these very tanky heroes because the Reaper's Scythe. He's also quite difficult to kill too. I'm just worried because early game Necrophos, I mean, he can keep himself kind of safe, but as the game gets later and later, Sven is going to turn into a problem.
Yeah.
And he will build a BKB. It's part of Sven's core items. Like, he will always build BKB.
And that is where Mozun kind of becomes even more important. You need to get the perfect swap of, even for a second of delay, it will matter a lot to Lance or DDZ because Necrophos is going to transition from this kind of semi-core, pseudo-core to a full tank that just stands in the middle of the fight, prays that the fight goes long enough for the Heartstopper aura to actually kill someone.
Not just Heartstopper. I'm curious to know what kind of build you're looking at if you're going to be playing Necrophos in this kind of game. Do you go for sustain so you can survive during the fight? So you maybe try and go for the Radiance because Radiance also used to be a build. Also very effective against heroes such as Sven because the miss chance is going to come in really handy when you're going head-to-head against someone like a Sven.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe Radiance and Shivas or Radiance, Shiva, or even Hex. He can even build an Assault
he
Cuirass.
still needs to build some sort of health item or something to give him armor, survivability, because early game without items, Necrophos is really squishy.
I think Assault Cuirass would help a bit more compared to Shivas.
I was thinking maybe start off with a hood at least, so you have health sustain, and then you can go back for the Radiance after, maybe a mech.
A mech, yeah.
Because he definitely needs something to sustain, because he's not gonna survive longer than, I would say, 20 seconds if he doesn't have those items.
It also depends how the first 15 minutes goes for him. And if it goes well enough and DDZ wants to turn on that full hyper aggressive mode, he can go for an early blink. But it is highly unlikely that will happen for this lineup. But the game is ready, so we'll jump right in and see what happens for game number 2, GeekFam against FlowerGaming. GeekFam, one more game to turn this around.
I'm a fan of this draft from GeekFam. Pretty solid. I really do like it. I mean, I like the Kunkka too. I was still kind of hoping for the SF, but I think the Kunkka was a smart idea as well. It's another way of catching heroes. If anything, you got to look at how many disables there are on GeekFam.
Yeah,
You got lots. You got Sven Stun, Kunkka Torrent, Kunkka X as well, Kunkka Boat. You have Centaur Stomp. You have Lion Hex and Earth Spike. That's a lot of control.
And it solves the problem of the nether swap as well. You swap someone away, X backs.
Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't... I mean, it's still going to make Venge effective because the target you want to swap is not always going to be the one that's X'd.
Yeah.
But it makes it difficult for them to decide, okay, who do I swap? Because if the X lands before I get the swap off, my teammate is doomed.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the classic bounty rune contest as Candilo standing in front, but they might not be able to get it. No, they won't.
Nope.
GeekFam will take 2 and FlowerGaming should get 2 in return.
It's 1.
Oh, Mozun though, dropping super low.
They might get Mozun. They should get the rune here, so it should be 3 runes for GeekFam.
Look at that attack animation.
Rampo.
Yeah.
Oh man, they're just hammering them. Look at Lance and Mozun.
Yeah, and actually Lion has one of the better attack animations early on. He started with a boot, so it kind of explains why or how he was able to get that much attacks in.
Yeah. Too bad his attack damage isn't incredibly high. It's not low either. It's not like 42 damage. Like I think Crystal Maidens is 42.
Yeah, Crystal Maiden.
And
Maybe
then
Techies.
Techies is like 30 what? 38?
30.
Like 30 something.
30 something.
I think it was like mid 30s, high 30s, but it's pretty ridiculous. And the animation for it's a bit stupid too. But
It's one of the most horrendous attack animations.
if this was a Shaman, it would have been completely different. I think they actually would have gotten the kill onto Lance. Because Shaman's got stupidly high base damage.
But also has ridiculously low movement speed, so it could have gone either way.
If he had boots, it may have solved the problem. You'll never know. I mean, they don't have Shaman on their team, so whatever happens, happens. Shaman, in the meantime, is in the bottom lane, helping out his Panda.
And perfect, you know, you lock down, you give the Panda the opportunity to kind of fight, and however, for them, it's almost impossible to kill this duo. It's an Abaddon, it's a Sven.
Yeah.
Whoever you decide to go on to will have the partner defending them.
As long as Barry has mana for Hex and Shackles, Abaddon's actually not very effective in this lane. I mean, he will prevent one disable from happening, but there's always going to be like the Panda Clap. There's always going to be another stun available for the Shaman to grab the kill. To be honest, I don't think they will kill the Sven at all. The best hero they'll probably kill is the Abaddon if he's too far out.
And I think post level 3, the chances that you have for killing both the Abaddon and Sven will just continue to decrease for the FlowerGaming, because like you say, it's almost impossible to kill these two. Yes, you can get the Hex on the Abaddon.
You shouldn't kill these
You shouldn't
two.
kill them.
Oh, very close to heal.
All right, close enough.
Yeah, unfortunately though, Brian is starting to run out of resources when it comes to healing the Sven. He's going to have to back up
He's getting
eventually. And he might even deny himself, just be like, alright, I'm going to kill myself to heal you.
Yeah.
Denied.
I mean, yes, he's delivering mangoes to himself.
Oh, it looks like we've got Shaman going towards a tower. I was going to deny himself, I'm guessing. Yeah, Shaman's denying himself down there.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, ignore that. Alrighty. Oh, is he going to deny himself? Okay, they're both denying. Alrighty.
Yeah, it takes too long to... Oh, ambitious TP.
Just hoping. It's like, oh, it's doing the exact same thing.
Yep, however, TV takes 3 seconds, and 3 seconds was all the Abaddon needed to die.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. They're both just going to go back to lane anyway.
They don't lose much. They're supports.
Yeah. I mean, no one gets the EXP. No one really gets anything out of it. It just ends up being Sven versus Panda solo because the supports aren't there.
Yeah.
Centaur's doing great up here. Look at how much CS Lance has.
Yeah,
4.
KOXY is actually...
He's dominating.
And in contrast to last game, Tino did manage to get decent amount of farm, but Lance is just not having that luxury, as DDZ now being engaged on, has the Death Pulse, doing quite a bit of damage, has the Fairy Fire, but the Torrent will seal its fate as Ranpo will draw first blood.
That's the benefit of Lion. You got 2 disables, Hex and Earth Spike. They're going to try and go on to Barry.
Oh, that Shackle, right on time, but great aggro management. Tino is going to get out. Miscall keeping Tino alive. Candyloon now trying to fight. Stormhammer connects, and Tino is looking for that last hit. Cinder Brew and Drunken Brawl gets Candyloon out.
I don't think Candyloon has any sustain either. He's only got 3 1 charges, so when his teammate respawns, he's going to have to bring him some regen back, because Candyloon, if he goes out of lane, this is just going to mean the lanes open up for Sven, because Sven's back to almost full HP. He's being healed up by Abaddon. That's the benefit of running Abaddon.
And now he's going to kill himself again.
He doesn't need to. He just pull the creeps. Is he pulling the creeps?
Yeah,
nope,
he's
just
killing
healing.
himself.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
And the mana cost for Miscall and the cooldown for Miscall is just ridiculous.
It's really low, isn't it?
Yeah, you can actually just keep spamming it. You can actually get, like, if you take out all forms of regeneration, you can spam 6 Miscalls, level 1 Miscall, at level 1 itself.
That's ridiculous. Oh, that looks like they managed to find the Avenge. Tried to get the stun off, but this should be the end.
Yeah. Rampo getting a cheeky kill on the Satyr, and he will get the second kill of the game as well. You can see GeekFam having a great lead. That's 4 kills to 1. 2,000 already.
Look at the runes they're going to get as well.
Going for Brian, as Brian trying to heal himself up. Deny again!
That's the thing with the Baron. You just deny yourself.
Nothing for FlowerGaming. They bring in the Venge, so might be an attempt onto Tino, but Venge is going to ward up that jungle first.
But if they do this, though, I don't even think they're still going to win this lane, because all GeekFam has to do is bring the Lion down to the bottom lane.
They're going to try, though.
I think they'd have a better chance at killing. We'll see.
Tino trying to run away, but the crits are landing, and Tino will try to TP out. However, there's the Ether Shock. So Barry will finally find the kill. However, DDZ is being severely punished.
Yeah, I don't think so, though. He's still
but he
leading
does have
CS.
the last hit, yeah.
even though the Lion is here, the Lion's not necessarily pulling out the Necrophos. I kind of feel like they should maybe move the Lion out. Maybe even send the Lion up top to try and kill the Drow with the Centaur.
And I think they should be doing that.
Because they don't need to keep the Lion mid with Alacrity. Alacrity is under no threat to dying. He's farming. He's doing great. He's still getting levels. If anything, he's sharing levels with the Lion.
Yeah, and he's also level 6 as well. He has the boat, so you don't even need to consider protecting him because it's almost impossible for DDZ to kill him
Is that Invis
on his
Rune?
own.
Oh, it is Invis Rune on the Lion.
They're going to try to go for the Drow finally. And it's about... He's rushing an axe.
I don't know. They would have seen that Invis Rune. The mid ward would have seen it. Yeah, they're even sending Drow... Is that Drow bot? No, Drow jungle.
The Lion is rushing an axe.
Really?
Yeah, he has a point booster.
What?
Okay. I mean, if he gets the axe, it would be instrumental for GeekFam when they enter the mid game.
So wait, does that mean this is a 5 Abaddon?
Yeah, I believe it is.
Yeah.
I mean, Brian has been killing himself 3 times in a row.
I
so
don't think that means you're a support. Oh boy. If he gets it, fine. But but Ags, I don't even know if this is beneficial because Ags on Lion, this only gives a small AoE, doesn't it? That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
it would be a huge spike if they get it.
I mean,
That's a big if.
it makes him tankier,
Yeah.
which is fine.
That's a big if though. He's still really far away and
Look,
he's not farming the lanes as well.
If they were running, for example, something like a Darkseer or a Magnus, something to sort of bring enemies closer together, then I'd probably see the Ags working. But you're running Ags Lion with... I mean, the only thing I could think of is they're prepping for late game and they're going to try and go for this crazy boat play with Kunkka.
Yeah, I honestly
That's
think
all I think is happening.
probably a switch flipped in GeekFam's head after game 1.
I don't think this is a switch being flipped. Someone just says, I want to buy Ags and I don't care what you tell me.
You're not stopping me. I got the first 2 kills. I'm buying X. So
I
someone
mean
has to buy the reward, Brian. You're doing it.
I do think Brian's probably used to this kind of stuff. He got demoted from playing crazy nature prophets to killing himself on a Abaddon.
And he still has more net worth compared to the
Oh,
bench.
wait. Can he? No, he can't finger ancients.
No, you can't.
If he could, then I would say it's fine.
I mean,
But there's no way he would get it before this stack goes down.
yeah, Lance will get it. So it's
Can
good for
Lance
him.
even kill this?
You just need to pray for the RNG to get that insta kill. And he's trying. That's 2. So
No luck.
it takes some time, but he will get it eventually. XY with the Stampede will engage on the DDZ. Alacrity comes in with the boat, and it should be enough. But DDZ healing up. Rampo is here though. He's gonna find his assist. So contributing to that
Oh, I
axe
think they
build
found
up.
the Shaman
but
as well. Oops.
they will find the Sven, and this should be enough for the Sven to go down. Tino still running away, but it's too much boulder being lobbed at him.
They're
Oh.
trying to go for Barry
There
as
you go.
well. Oh, Barry not gonna... Oh, never mind, I lied.
Yeah, Alacrity with
got
the
him.
nasty fade away.
But although, even though they killed DDZ, they did lose Tino in the process, and Lance is still jungling, so
Yeah,
I mean, it's not all bad for GeekFam. They're still farming on their main heroes. I suppose the good news for GeekFam is that both Alacrity and KYXY are really high net worth, and these heroes hit a great, they're really good during the mid-game transition because they don't really need much to come online. In particular, Centaur just needs to build tanky, also have the Blink Dagger, and he's pretty much good to go. Alacrity, every item he gets is going to make him more and more scary, especially once you start building up into crit, because these heroes on Flower, they're not super tanky. If they're unlucky and they get crit, they're just going to die straight.
and you have 2 heroes on GeekFam sides that appreciate the Danelie a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have the Sven, and then you have Alacrity. Barry almost dies. Mozun comes in as backup, but it's just avenge. You're not getting anything out of that. And
Yep.
GeekFam, they will secure themselves 3 more bounty runes there.
If anything, I'm surprised GeekFam haven't been scouting out to try and find stacks, because something we did talk about in some of the previous matches is that they have their own stack, which is fine. A lot of teams haven't been stacking, and because of this, teams haven't been scouting for stacks. That used to be the thing in the old stacking meta where supports would scout to see what camps have been stacked,
Oh yeah.
and they would plan ambushes to get the stacks themselves so the carries on the enemy side wouldn't get it. So I'm really shocked that no one's really tried to put a ward there, to try and scout things out, to look where Lance is, because no one's actually seen Lance for the past couple minutes.
And if you're GeekFam, you should consider going for auto scouts
I mean,
because
look at the map, right?
Yeah.
There's a Radiant ward in the jungle. They know Lance is not there, so where else can he be? Either in your own jungle or he's on the right side jungle near the Ancients.
but that's a big Sven and Kunkka are super great at clearing out big stacks. They will find
Exactly.
DDZ again. That's the finger stack for Ranpo. So it's just going good for GeekFam.
He's got 2 pieces for the Ags.
Yeah, one more.
Wait, does he have 2? Maybe 1 more, 2 more, no? He's got 2 pieces. The point booster and the... I
Then
think he's
2
got
more.
Yeah, 2 more.
Yeah, 2 more.
I was like, 1 more? Ags? He's got 3 pieces? Wow. I'm surprised.
But he's getting closer and closer.
Oh, I mean, he is. Honestly, I would have probably preferred the Blink Dagger.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
Like, early Blink kind of does a bit more than Finger. Just a little bit.
He's confident enough. And it's getting the stacks online. Tino as well, rushing that Echo Saber. He actually has the Echo Saber, just needs to deliver it using that courier. So big stack cleared out by the Sven. Alacrity just doing an amazing job. If you look at the net worth right now, it's Alacrity on top with almost 3,000 ahead of Candyloon, followed by KYXY and then Tino. But now they're going to try to kill Brian, who does not have the borrow time. But it doesn't matter, it's just a baton. FlowerGaming, they're looking for the scraps and they will find the support.
Alright, bear with me. I'm just trying to see what benefit Ags has for Lion to see if it's worth it, because
It's just the AoE.
I'm just scared I'm missing something. Yeah, I know that there's definitely the AoE.
Cooldown. Yeah, AoE
Oh,
and
cooldown. If he gets it to level 3 finger, it's a 20-second cooldown. It's a 1-minute cooldown if he gets it to level 2 finger, which is most likely.
I mean, even level 2 is super great. They pop the Stampede, they did find the Shaman, and they will find the Venge as well. GeekFam running over FlowerGaming, they're sitting at a 5k net worth advantage over the Dire team.
Well, if the game keeps going like this, I have to say I still have faith in GeekFam that they can take this game. I'm just a little bit worried about their mentality from last game. If Flower managed to pick up their momentum and win a couple of team fights, are we going to see the same story as game 1 where GeekFam, amazing start, couple mistakes, and their mentality just fumbles?
Yeah, but I think it's harder for FlowerGaming to pull off this kind of shenanigans because you don't have...
They're running a they're running a later draft, definitely.
The only thing you have is a smoke. You don't have a blink on a Shaman yet. The swap has horrible range at level 1. You don't have Moonlight Shadow.
Panda's split has a pretty long cooldown as well because it's still level 1.
And if you commit a Panda split right now, GeekFam can actually kill your mini Pandas because you have a Farm Sven, you have Alacrity who is really buffed out as well.
Okay, Echo Saber is done and he's about 1k gold in. Now Tino has no vision down there.
Oh,
he was very lucky actually. He finished the camp in time, goes out, sees Candyloon.
He went for the Midas, so
maybe they're
super. Yeah, they are desperate for the farm. They need the resources.
I think they just want to go late game. They say, guys, if they're gonna go late game, we gotta prepare for late game as well. So Midas farming items. Let's do this. But then it means it's gonna delay his Blink Dagger though. Blink Dagger is gonna be delayed. His Vanguard is also going to be delayed. With all this delayed, does GeekFam try to capitalize?
Yeah,
Because you would think like Wildflower is in this sort of catch-up phase. You sort of want to kill them before they catch up.
Yeah, and I would honestly, I don't know why even if the Centaur went for the Vanguard first, which he did, followed by the Sven went for the Echo Saber first, I don't know, I felt like if they just rush a Blink Dagger straight, they could be even more aggressive. Because you don't really need that much tankiness or damage, you already have them.
They could be prepping for high ground actually.
Yeah, they could be as well.
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe they're prepping for high ground. They know most of the damage on the side of Flower is physical, so if we just counter the damage and if they can't kill us, then they should be fine to push high ground or at least to engage in some of these fights. Because Drow, I mean, DDZ's not ready to fight, Lance is not ready to fight. The only one that can do anything is Candyloon.
Yeah, Alacrity trying for that boat just to deny the bounty run. Unfortunately, it doesn't die to a boat, so it goes over to Barry. But GeekFam, the Lion, especially Rampo, is 600 gold away from his axe.
600 gold.
Make it 500 now.
I hope this is worth it. He's still got level 1 finger. I believe, hang on, the cooldown for level 1 finger is 100 seconds.
Yeah, 100 seconds. With axe, right?
Yeah, so it's about a minute less than the 160 cooldown at level 1. So I suppose it's like a little improvement, but maybe he wants to get lucky with AoE. He's just, alright, surprise eggs. Let's get some AoE hits in. But the thing is, I don't even know if AoE Ags is even that great. I mean, he can use it for farming late game, sure, once he gets a level 3 finger, because every 20 seconds you use it. But all DDZ and Lance are ranged heroes. You're never going to see them clumped up.
Yeah, and
I don't get it.
use it to clear waves. There's a big wave, finger the wave, get the go.
Clear the camps, but there's no
You can't clear
camps. There's no stacks anymore when the finger Ags comes up.
Yeah.
I mean,
Geek
it gives
fan.
it. I think it's just stats.
They go
I
for a
really
smoke,
think it's
stampede
stats.
pop. They will find Barry. Easiest target to kill. Barry is gonna try with the hex, but there we go. Finger, second stack for Ranpo. Lion dominating with a 5k net worth. It's extremely high for a support Lion. And he will get his X. Done.
Yep.
For 16 minutes in, done.
16-minute Ags. All right, please teach me how to play Lion because I'm very confused. I want to see if this works. Is it worth getting a 4,200 gold item at 16 minutes over a 2.2k gold item called a Blink Dagger?
Yeah. Which he could have gotten at minute number 12. But I think
I know we're joking over a Blink Dagger, but I mean Blink Dagger,
it makes a lot of difference.
yeah, that's the thing.
Maybe GeekFam are not so concerned since that they have been winning every fight. They can engage with Stampede, Stormhammer,
Maybe.
they have everything. So Rampo is feeling really comfortable. You can see that they're doing what FlowerGaming did last game.
Try
Taking
and
control as
bait.
well over that top side.
That's the thing that sucks when you're playing against Lion, because you can try. I know some teams they love to do these illusion baits, but if there's a Lion, he's just okay.
Hex,
Let's
mana drain.
mana drain first. Let's see if it's real. If it's real, then you go on. If it's not real, then it just disappears.
Yeah, and there's nothing that FlowerGaming can
Oh, and it gets worse now because BKB is up on the Sven, and we all know what that means. There is absolutely nothing they can do outside of swapping the Sven.
do. Yeah. FlowerGaming, I wouldn't say that they don't look good in this game. They are always in top form, right?
Normally they are, but their position in the game is not that great. I will agree with that.
Yeah.
They definitely don't look good right now. Oh boy.
It's a wraparound from GeekFam. They will
Fancy
see
dude.
Vanish, they will see Cannon, even Barry as well. You can see KRX like going for the zoning work. You get Shackle out as the Drow starts to put out damage. Crimson Guard is popped. There's the Gust for the silence. Gauss String is used as well, though the boat gets brought in. Mozen will be caught out. Alacrity finds the dominating kill as Candy Loon now trying to go for Alacrity. They will find him, but he has a lot of damage with the Tidebringer. Is everyone stranded? Alacrity alone as the Abaddon is brought out with the Cyclone. Reaper side will finish him off. DDZ gets that kill, but Cannylone trying to retaliate. Great Earth Spike from behind. Rampo looking for those stacks. Lance still pumping up damage. No one is actually paying attention to the Drow. Now Rampo has to kind of get out of jail. Hide in the Trinas for now. Barry comes back with the buyback. Stormhammer onto DDZ. DDZ somehow surviving. Hex onto Cannylone. Great Ether Strike. There is the hit spike, and there's the Tidebringer. And GeekFam bring the victory back to their home turf. Lance with the Hurricane Pie trying to fight Tino. They will find it. Lance now running away. Another two-man Earth Spike coming in from Rampo. Cannylone is low.
Oh my
AoE
god!
finger. X is definitely worth it at 16 minutes. And GeekFam, we will find the wipe as Mozen tries to run away, but that is 3 strike and he's out. Triple kill, the hat trick for Alacrity.
So explain to me how they just left Rampo in the tree line to do whatever he wanted. They left him. They saw him. They were so certain they were going to get these cores. They ignored him. Rampo sat in the tree lines. He was giggling because he knew if they didn't catch him, he was going to cause hell. 3-man Earth Spike. Fantastic. He actually disrupted the chase as well. I think he threw the Hex onto DDZ, so it slowed him down while they were still trying to pursue. And the one time, Finger of Death, it's like the ultimate finger to turn the fight around. That's the one time Ags really pays off.
Well, Lion is...
Can we give him a promotion? He's now officially the position 3.
I always like to say that Lion has the most powerful finger in the whole of Dota. And he proved it. 3 stacks, that's a plus 150 damage, but if you convert that into AoE, that's extra 300 damage if it's on 2 targets. So
exactly.
do the math. Rampo is going to carry this game if things go well.
I mean, he might, especially if he can get levels in Finger of Death, lower cooldown.
Okay, Ops, just click on Lion once more. I'm going to show you guys that he's not even considering the blink. That guy is going for Kaya. Rampo is so confident that he says, screw the blink, I'm going Kaya.
He hit level 12, he's got level 2 fingers, so now this is on a 60-second cooldown. Every minute we're going to be getting an AoE Finger of Death.
DDZ is dead. They will find Candy Lundo, but it's tanky Centaur with a Crimson Guard. Great Stampede. They find the stun with the Primal Split.
They
Great
swapped him.
again. They swapped him away. SKXY survived. There's the finger from Rambo. Goes unstoppable. Finds land. Stormhammer connects, and it's going to be a turnaround for GeekFam once more. Double kill for Tino. FlowerGaming, they lose 3 members, and it might be more if they can find it. It seems like Candy Lune will be caught out as Alacrity will get the X marks the spot. They will bring Candy Lune back, and that is a dead Panda.
Flower trying to be hopeful like last game, thinking if we fight as 5, we might be able to turn the game around. The unfortunate thing is that their heroes are so different compared to last game.
Oh yeah.
You're running Drow, you're running Necrophos. Both of these heroes need a lot of time to build items. I don't know who TP'd out.
It was Lion.
Was
Wait,
it Lion?
no, it was Shaman. He killed Lion,
Oh, okay, there we go.
but Lion got the Kaya, so it didn't matter too much.
Yeah, but I mean, even though Flower is trying to fight, if you're going to fight 5v5 versus GeekFam, I honestly do not see them winning because they don't have the same utility compared to the other heroes. You have a Marana Arrow, you have Wyvern Curse set up, you had Centaur as well, you had all these heroes that had a very strong mid-game timing. Drow doesn't have a mid-game timing. Necrophos, I mean, he can, but he needs a lot more farm than this. And then you're running a Panda, which, I mean, Panda's strong after the laning stage. Mostly just needs like 1 or 2 items to really come online. But the follow-up for Panda is really weak.
Yeah. And now you have BKB on the Kunkka. Did
Sven even use the BKB in the last fight?
I don't remember seeing it. I don't think he needed it, even if it... We're gonna find out.
Can we check Tino, the Sven's BKB? Did he use it?
Oh,
Okay,
he
he's used it
did.
twice. Alright, so he's been using it. I mean, that's probably why they can't touch him. Just Tino runs in.
Now you can
Can't
touch
do
Alacrity
anything.
as well.
Yeah, I think things are getting harder because
Whoa,
something we also should keep mentioning is that all of the cores on GeekFam are naturally tanky.
yeah,
All of them.
Lion is going for the Shadow Blade.
Oh god. Sounds like a pub build.
There we go. Yeah.
Definitely think Flower might be regretting this draft. It's
Yeah.
not the same as Dota Hero. I know GeekFam can fumble here and there, but they're definitely better than
They were way
this.
better.
They're better than this.
Yep.
Honestly, I'm gonna say it here. I didn't like the Necrophos last pick. The concept was there.
the concept was
The
there.
concept was there. You're gonna survive the fights. You're going to do long-term damage because the fights last for so long. But the fights aren't lasting that long. It's done in about 30 seconds, maybe a minute maximum.
Yeah. And you don't have a proper front line as well. What can a
No.
Panda do? You know, the Panda is just make a split.
Panda can't control 3 heroes.
Yeah. You need, which was why like Centaur Titan is so valuable. Even I believe even someone like what's that? Even a Pango would have done a bit more better if you want the Necrophos to be in.
Yeah, I suppose the Pango would have been a bit more reliable, at least with the Rolling Thunder.
Yeah.
Because there's very few things that can really disrupt the Rolling Thunder. And even Pango is going to scale a bit better than the Panda. I mean, Panda's better utility-wise, but Pango can actually transition to actually start doing some damage, which comes in very handy. But, I mean, the game's not out yet. The base hasn't been breached. It's 24 minutes. Flower, they can try to drag this game for as long as they can, because if they do, Lance will benefit, DDZ will benefit. I mean, Panda, unfortunately, he's sort of stuck here. Panda doesn't get better than this.
Yeah, and he
All their faith in DDZ and Lance right now.
he got the Vlads, but the Vlads will only affect him alone. And I think he only gets it for he only got it for the damage aura. That's pretty much what the Vlad's gonna do for the rest of the team. But it's the most cost efficient item. There's nothing much that he can get at the current state of the game.
Is Barry working on a Blink Dagger? The Shaman.
No, Aether Lens.
He's Aether Lens.
I think the Aether Lens would do better.
Aether Lens would work. I was just checking to see like what Barry wanted to pick up next, because Barry, I think if anything, you can't underestimate a good Shaman as well. Aether Lens will make his job a little bit easier. The only thing I'm worried about though is that because you're not running Blink, you're running Aether, right? They can still see where you are because you might have range, but you're still within sight range. They're still going to see the Shaman. It's the scariest Shamans are the ones that sort of come out of nowhere. They blink in, they shackle you when you least expect it, right? So Aether Lens probably the cheaper option. Maybe they think they can't save the gold because you've seen how aggressive GeekFam has been.
and I was about to point it out, GeekFam, they did slow down slightly. So good news for FlowerGaming. They are given more time. However, there is the Aegis on the Sven.
Exactly. I was thinking
And you
they're
got
probably
the
gonna.
Assault Curious. So.
Oh God.
Alright,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a bit harder for Flower. Actually, not
a
a bit.
lot.
I take that back. It's a lot harder.
It's a lot harder. I almost want to think the fact that they picked up the Avenge as early as I think it was the 3rd pick, was it?
Yeah,
Fourth pick.
it was the.
No, it was, was it 4th
it was
pick?
the. I think it was the 4th pick.
It was 3rd or 4th. I almost want to say maybe the Venge pick was the one thing that may have sort of caused them this issue because you've locked in a draft with Venge. Now you know it's Venge, Shaman supports.
Swap with Alacrity, and Alacrity pops an easy BKB. That's 10 seconds on the clock. He brings the boat in, finds Cannylun. KYX have a great Hood Storm in the backline. Cannylun trying to get that Panda off. He will get it. Primal Split is used. There is the Hex, but Stampede is going to be used as a counter. The Shackle, the Centaur, they execute KYXY, but the damage is coming from GeekFam. KYXY with an instant buyback as a Tidebringer will go to work.
Oh no,
They
Sven
will
stuck!
trap Tino in, but Tino will just force his way out of the Serpent Wall. 2 hits will do the job. Now turns around with the Stormhammer. Cannylun getting the stun. The Hex still comes through. Lance still left untouched, but Tino has the 80 though is going to work with that Gauss Strength. DDZ is still alive. They will pop the Aegis finally, but KYXY is back in the fight. And FlowerGaming, they will try to get out of there. They will sacrifice Barry in the process, but they do manage to hold on to the game.
Considering with all that said and done, I really think Flower juggled that fight very well. They worked with the choke. They used all their spells to try and keep GeekFam at bay. I thought the shackle, sorry, not the shackle, the Serpent Ward block onto Tino was really crucial because it was wasting a lot of time on the God Strength. It was wasting his BKB duration as well. And it created that space that was necessary for the backline heroes on the side of FlowerGaming to really function. So they managed to protect Lance, DDZ. The thing that I was very curious about was why Tino tried to go onto DDZ, because DDZ is probably one of the most difficult heroes to kill in the game because he Ghost Shrouds, you can't touch him if you're Sven. It doesn't matter if you've got BKB or not, he just mostly heals most of the damage. And you've got all this backline support just stunning, slowing, preventing the Sven from doing anything once the BKB ran out. It's almost unideal to go onto DDZ. You want to shotgun the Drow.
Is the Drow going for the Gus knockback this? He hasn't gotten the talent yet, but
It's close. He's gone for
there we go.
agility.
Yeah, he didn't go for the knockback. I think either one would be fine. I would prefer a knockback if
It would help.
yeah, it would help. But I think FlowerGaming, they're confident enough because Lance wasn't touched. The only damage that he took was from the Tidebringer, and
Yeah.
it obviously wasn't enough because
They
he
actually
has the armor.
ignored. Did you see them? They ignored Kunkka. Kunkka came into the side and got a really cool angle on all of them, but they didn't. They didn't
were
even
like-
move.
They were
They were
like,
just like, "What
kill
up,
the
bro?"
Centaur, kill Tino.
They didn't. They didn't care at all. That's kind of where the crit's gonna have to come in because if he doesn't get crit soon,
He
does
got a
have,
Daedalus.
does he have baby crit? Oh, he has the Daedalus already.
Yeah, that's a
Okay,
Papa crit.
but he didn't get the Papa crit last game.
He's going for the second Daedalus.
Okay, we're going for the other. Okay,
Yeah.
the double crit. There we go. There's the farm. It's still level 2 finger, but this is gonna be level 3 very soon.
Yeah, 150 gold GPM talent. That is a lot. You can easy step for the buyback, but Lance will be called out. Great Frost Staff to bring him away. There is a Glimmer Cape used to bring Lance to safety. They pop the dust, but Lance will get the knockback in, and now
Look at the high ground
FlowerGaming,
positioning.
they've established their front line. They will fight Alacrity, and the damage will come right in. Alacrity forced to pop that 9-second BKB, but Tino goes right in with the Stormhammer, goes for the God Strength. They might find the kills though. Barry with the sick juke. Lance will continue doing damage. They did find the Earth Spike onto the Panda. Panda doesn't get the Primal Split out. No Serpent was used as well. Panda now has to buy back as FlowerGaming. They know they're forced to
They
fight, but
lost
Lance is caught out. 60 seconds on the clock. Mosun as well. Out of position, and that's the buyback used to no avail. DDZ dies.
There's no buyback.
GeekFam, they might just look to end this.
Oh my god, they crit the pandas.
Yeah.
Oh, goodbye. That's 2 pandas gone. That's just the Earth Panda now.
Death timers are so long. They can't get 1 Rex, okay.
It's 30 minutes. The death timers are long. They're pinging the panda. They're just like, come on, guys. Are we down to kill panda today? They won't get him, but just that was all they needed. One misplay, one mispositioning. I honestly think Flower, they just got a little trigger happy when they saw the Kunkka.
Oh yeah.
They may have thought they had more damage than they did. They tried to go into Kunkka. They dropped him to half health. And all of a sudden, you've put your whole team in danger because you've mispositioned yourself to try and kill a hero that you just weren't capable of doing at all.
Yeah, it looked impossible to kill Kunkka when if he had that BKB. And he
It
had
wasn't even the BKB. Like, look how much health he has. 3k health. It's 30 minutes in. There's no way they have the damage between all 5 of their heroes.
They can try, but you have Rampo to be careful of. There's no Primal Split. Tino with a BKB proc, they will fight Mozun, and Mozun definitely going to be sacrificed. They bring the boat in as well. DDZ will be knocked by the edge of that boat, and Venge is out for 40 more seconds. However, you see the Serpent was doing a lot of damage. They will try to execute Brian, but borrowed time will thank the Reaper side for healing him back up.
Yep. Last fight would have been different if Panda got the split.
Oh yeah.
Candy Loon couldn't split. He got perma-stunned. Oh, they're going to do the old complexity smoke back. Oh dear, Candy Loon.
FlowerGaming special, great gust, great silence, but there's the Lotus Orb being used. Lance now trying to do damage, but he's on the Centaur, reflecting damage back. DDZ caught up with the Hex. There's a Torrent onto Candy Loon. Candy Loon being forced away. They will find KYXY as Lance is left untouched. Now turning onto Brian, who does not have the borrowed time. They get the Shackle onto Tino. That's probably the biggest target, but there's the boat. Barry will be knocked in. DDZ in the front line. Mozun comes right back. He has respawned. They use up Alacrity. Alacrity running out of mana. They might find Alacrity though. They swap him back. There's a Sentry. Shadowblade not going to help them. FlowerGaming, they hold on as Alacrity goes down for 100 seconds. They will now see Rampo with the dust, but Rampo will make it out with his life.
Small oopsie there by GeekFam. I think they got a little too ahead of themselves, thinking that they were strong enough, can go high ground, can fight FlowerGaming, but definitely fumbled the ball there, giving 2 unnecessary kills away, but they're still leading 20k.
Yeah, there's a big goal lead.
They're still leading 20k. The towers are still, the tower health of all these towers is still decent. They've got to cut through 2 mid towers. Oh my goodness. 2 mid towers, all the tier 2 towers are up. So for Flower, it's a small step to coming back, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're still back into this game, because they've still got to farm on their cores. They got to farm. They need towers. They need control. They need to equalize, and they've got 20k gold between them.
Yeah, but what I can confirm, or FlowerGaming can at least confirm, is that when the BKBs are down in GeekFam, they have a much better chance of killing them off.
Absolutely. Yeah, the BKBs have been the biggest problem.
Yeah, and you can see that the moment there is no BKB, the moment that they cannot get access to Lance, especially, Lance just free hits. You cannot bring the Kunkka in, because there's all you need is a Panda and DDZ. Especially DDZ, that Lotus Orb could be one of the biggest game changer.
Absolutely. Imagine you reflect the lion finger.
Yeah, that's what I believe FlowerGaming were hoping for. Get the Lotus Orb, finger reflex, AoE finger onto your own team. GeekFam will, Rampo especially will feel that, but he goes for the Kaya Yasha, Shadowblade, going for the E-Blade next.
He's going for this little carry lion.
Oh, smoke from Flower. Let's see what they're going to find.
If they run into Brian's the last hero they want. If they can jump onto Rampo, that'll be perfect.
They will find Rampo. Rampo is going to get found out. That's the great kill. They'll execute him, but KYXY is in. They try to go onto the Drow, but there's a Shackle, and Drow just stands his ground. KYXY might go down, pops the Stampede, but Stampede will be wasted. Dust gets thrown out.
No buybacks.
Tornado onto Brian. Brian drops right down. There's the Dispel. No borrowed time. And that is 3 members from GeekFam down. Road to recovery for FlowerGaming will begin right now with Roshan.
It's happening. 4k gold going in the way of Flower. No buybacks on Lion and Centaur. And I think this is where some of the mistakes are going to start kicking in, because GeekFam, they have been so confident with their movements. They thought, guys, we don't need buyback. We're just going to get items till we get stronger and stronger. But when you make these kind of misplays against a lineup,
they can still win this. As you can see, Tino goes right in, gets silenced out. BKB is going to help him for a while, trying to go for Roshan. He might be able to steal this away. Alacrity to Tidebringer. Oh, Tino with the steal. Gets the double kill. FlowerGaming might have to start running. Barry walks right in, maybe into his depth, as Tino comes in with a Blink Dagger. And they will find the necessary kills that GeekFam had been yearning for, as the Mistquell will connect and Stormhammer will finish Barry off. Tino is godlike, and the gods have answered his calls.
Oh, Flower. They thought they were good. They thought 3v5, they were going to be fine. They get hammered.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised they stuck around when they saw them come in, because you know Sven has cleave. You know Kunkka also kind of has cleave. Did you want to stick around when they have crit or absurdly high damage?
And they have BKB.
They tried to commit for Roche, which I understand. But they commit. They couldn't kill it in time. They end up getting killed themselves. They lose the Aegis. They lost everything.
Yeah, if the cause did not have BKB, then the commitment would be justified, because you can just control Tino and Kunkka, but there was BKB.
The biggest mistake they actually had was having Venge literally at the mouth of Roche Pit. If
Oh,
the Venge was out, the Venge would have been able to swap DDZ, would have been able to swap Lance out, then at least you preserve one of your carries,
And
right?
yeah.
But he got eaten up first. He was right outside the Roche Pit. And basically, you could see the panic from Flower. They were sort of like, you couldn't see Lance actually. Lance was like, sort of running around a circle. He was like, oh God, what do I do? Where's my support? Oh shit, there's a Sven right here. And he just gets destroyed.
And the worst part was Barry wasn't even there. Had he been there, the fight would have gone a bit better because he had the Serpent Ward, he had the Hex, he had the Shackle. He might be able to drag that fight out for a split second longer to allow FlowerGaming to kind of recover from the ambush, because as if Tino wasn't enough, that one Tidebringer crit threw FlowerGaming off guard so hard that they just collapsed. There's 2 buybacks expanded to defend a base that wasn't really threatened. So if FlowerGaming loses the next fight, it's over. It's over.
It's over. I'm trying to look at the buyback status. Now, there's one on Venge, there's one on DDZ. That's about it when you look at FlowerGaming. Whereas you've got one on the Sven and one on the Centaur. 2 key heroes on GeekFam's side of the map. If these guys have buyback, let's say Flower push back, they manage to grab kills and to fend off GeekFam. If they try to push Sven and Centaur buyback, you achieve nothing. Yeah. There's no Roche to take, there's no towers to take, there's no high ground. They need high ground. They need something to equalize, because so far they're playing on such a difficult game because they're constantly on the back foot with no Raxus.
Yeah. In GeekFam going for the final blow possibly, they did smoke up. They will find Kenny Loon. Kenny Loon must get that Panda. Oh, but as soon as they're going to get it, there is the reflect from the Lotus All finger of that back on the line himself, but they need more than that. As you can see, Lance doing all the damage. The boat might not connect as Brian is taking the brunt of it. Borrow time is pop. Tino gets trapped up. There's the execute. KYXY goes down. First kill, 2 minutes on the clock for the Centaur. And you can see FlowerGaming, they might find a chance. Tino desperately trying to get near to Lance, and they might find the crit, the cleave. Lance pops the cheese, pops the BKB, and he will turn it around. The second kill to the balance. There's a second finger from Rampo, but it's not enough as Tino will come back to life. They need to pay attention. Tino will blink in and find the Panda. There's no BKB though. Lance might be able to kill him more. Moulton comes back. It's gonna find the stun. Stampede gets used. Alacrity comes in with the Xbox to spot, but it doesn't matter. They did use up the line though. Rampo is still pretty much alive. DDZ has to be careful because Rampo might be able to look for that finger. There's a central drop right down. Rampo turns right away with the haste bite. He did find the Venge, but Rampo goes down as well as DDZ now going on a 1 versus 1 versus KYXY, but KYXY knows that he cannot win that. They have the precision aura. Lance is here. There is the turret. It does miss, and Lance will go to work with that armor piercing arrow, but KYXY is super tanky with the pipe and the Crimson Guard. Alacrity finds the angle, and Alacrity might have just saved GeekFam the fight. Now DDZ is stranded, and he has nothing more to provide. KYXY goes in, the use on the Alacrity, and DDZ just trying to get out of jail, and he will for now, but it's GeekFam finding the counterattack.
My mind is blown. That crit could not have come at such a perfect time. I don't know, I actually think maybe he would have been able to kill off Lance without the crit, but still. Killing off the Drow, she's basically the backbone of Flower's draft. You can see DDZ, he's trying to burn heroes down, but it's so slow. If there's no stuns, there's no disables, DDZ's just walking around, he's just taking a stroll. They don't feel anything. They couldn't even kill the Sven. He was trying so hard to kill Tino, and he couldn't even do it. There just wasn't enough damage.
Delayed the TP a bit, but DDZ might have made a big mistake.
Oh.
Gets the Ghost Shroud all in time as TP will come in from the rest of the team. They might try for a bit, but for now, FlowerGaming will stick to defense until Lance comes back to life. 50 more seconds until the Drow revives, and FlowerGaming, they live to see another day with a 25k gold deficit.
Oh my goodness, that was mental. That bottom fight was just absolutely crazy. It really looked like it was turning into Flower's favor, but you could see the damage was dwindling when Lance wasn't there.
Yeah,
the damage was dwindling. It was all control from the supports. I gotta say, props to Shaman. He's been getting some really, really good Serpent wards. He's just constantly trapping Tino, wasting his BKB duration because he has to hit Serpents.
Oh yeah, and it's now down to 5 seconds as well. So 5 seconds isn't long. Trapped in Serpents, the time you need to take down the Serpent was pretty much 2 seconds.
Yeah, and I think we also in the fights you would have noticed this. They managed to get the reflect on the lion finger.
Yes, they did. Yeah,
they got it. I mean, it wasn't highly impactful, I suppose. Like, it was annoying because it reflect, but we're starting to see things. And I think if you're lion, you're gonna be thinking twice before you finger. You think, okay, is there anyone next to me before I finger? It's like, all right, let's do this.
And also one thing we missed out after the Lotus of reflect was that Venge actually swapped out Candy Loon. and he survived to get the primal split off. Or else it would have been game over for FlowerGaming. But the Shadow Blade is the one doing so much work. You can see the Lackery just snuck up on everyone, and he didn't even bother hitting Lance. He just hit the caster creep, and voila! That's the two Datas combining his crit together.
Yeah, you can see the invisibility is really throwing them off because it's not just Lion. It's on Alacrity as well, and you gotta feel for the supports on the side of Flower.
You gotta feel for the cores as well.
I mean, everyone's feeling it, you know, but they need detection so badly. But it's just like the fights are happening in so many different places. You can't just put one magical ward down and everything is solved.
But FlowerGaming are showing more and more promises to kind of drag out the game, because you can see the fights are getting slightly longer.
Yeah.
But every time they manage to find a solution for a problem, another problem arises. The first one was BKB. Now, BKB duration has been reduced to 5 seconds. Not that much of a problem. Lotus or Frost have come out, but suddenly invisibility becomes the second problem.
Exactly. I mean, they can eventually solve this by picking up a gem, but they don't have a reliable gem carrier. I think
it's just DDZ.
That's the thing. The only person I think who can carry one is DDZ. But I think the moment they notice DDZ as a gem, he's going to get shot down.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. So it's really difficult. It's like a double-edged sword. Do you buy a gem, or do you just keep going with sentries? Because sentries are just absolutely destroying the support's bank accounts. They can't buy any items. They're not like Lion. They don't have a gold talent.
I honestly think that the sentries would do fine, because right now you're not that worried about the supports getting even more core items. You just want to keep the base alive. And FlowerGaming were lucky that they still have one set of racks. If it was Megas, they probably wouldn't have survived.
It would have been a different story.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things that have to go right for Flower.
Yeah. And
it's not even just one team fight. It would have to be multiple team fights. If I was going to make a guess, 3 team fights, maybe 4, depending on how the flow of the game is. But 3-4 team fights, the gold should equalize, because you have to consider the game is getting late. A lot of the heroes on the side of GeekFam, they're starting to cap out.
Yeah.
They can't really build anymore because it doesn't get better than that. Unless, for example, maybe they go for like Sven, Divine Rapier. So, I mean, Alacrity and Sven could go for Divine Rapier.
Oh, yeah.
So their heroes are starting to cap out. They can't really buy that much more. So the gold difference is going to become redundant, because the heroes on the side of Flower, they have not reached 6 slots.
They have not reached their full potential.
I think Lance is on 4 slots. He had...
Yeah.
Sorry,
Hurricane
he has
Pike.
Hurricane Pike. I think he's finished his Butterfly, and then he's also running... He's not running Ags yet, no.
I feel like he can go for something like a... What's that? Mjolnir. I think Mjolnir would be decent.
I
don't
think so. I don't think Mjolnir, unless you're thinking he just wants the lightning procs, because he doesn't need the attack speed. That's one thing for sure.
Maybe he could go for Daedalus instead. I honestly think either Daedalus, or
Daedalus.
if he wants to be a bit cheeky, he can go for the axe.
I mean, he's going to have to pick up BKB at some point.
Oh yeah.
BKB is going to be the big one, because he doesn't have it. He's relying on his teammates to save him. But once he gets BKB, we could see a bit of a change. But definitely... Sorry, can we take a look at the Drow just to see what his items are? So it's...
He
has a
BKB.
BKB.
Yeah, gotten the butterfly yet.
Is the BKB fresh?
I think it... Oh, it's not. It's actually not.
So he hasn't been using BKB.
Yes, but the axe is picked up by DDZ. That would kind of help them a bit. Canadian working towards that Assault Cuirass.
Oh,
that would be
unfortunately.
super beneficial as well.
DDZ is actually capped out. I don't see DDZ being able to buy anything else.
Yeah, he's just this utility Necrophos at this point. You don't need DDZ to do damage. You need DDZ for the execute.
If only he could like give gold to Lance.
Yeah.
He'd just be like, all right, I don't need this anymore. Please accept my donations to charity.
This could be the game-ending fight, simply because of the DD rune on
Not
Tino.
just the DD rune. Detection. Okay, detection's pretty healthy in Flower's base.
I am very worried for Flower right now, because they don't have buybacks other than
They
Canadian.
went up. Oh, they lost the Venge.
It's just a Venge.
They can't. No, they can't lose Mosin. Mosin is too important.
They do get an Assault Cuirass. They're banking everything in. It's either GeekFam Megas or GeekFam end the game. And you can see Tino still has the BKB. Canadian has to frontline. You cannot let Lance get caught. Canadian will have to fearlessly walk right up as
He used the glyph as
Lance
well.
started doing some damage on the KYXY. They pop the Primal Split. This is just for disruption. You need to hold until the Venge gets back. So,
But the unfortunate thing here is that you've used the Primal Split. Next high ground, GeekFam are just going to go high ground because there's no Primal anymore.
they have no choice. I think at this point they're doing everything they can to keep that last Rex alive because you don't want mega creeps and you need the Venge.
They need Mosin. That's the thing. Mosin, even though some people look at Mosin, it's just a support Venge. This support Venge has the best defensive spell in the game. The swap is so important. They need him in case someone gets jumped on. Candy Loon can't get jumped on. Lance can't get jumped on. Even DDZ to a certain degree. If you let them jump on DDZ and he gets hit by Sven, he's dead.
Yeah.
It is so important.
Monkey King Bar for Sven. Butterfly is not going to work anymore for the Drow. But the one problem that GeekFam has is that it is so hard to get to Drow. But the Aghanim Scepter on the Centaur will change everything for GeekFam. They might have capped out for most of their hero, but it should be sufficient for them to end this game.
I think the Centaur Ags is game breaking.
Yeah.
This might have just won them the game because the damage reduction. It's already hard enough for Flower to even put a dent into these GeekFam heroes. Now with the I think it's 40% damage reduction, right?
Yeah, it should be
So 40% damage reduction. They're not gonna kill anyone. If someone gets jumped on, they might even bait Flower. I know sometimes teams will do this. They'll bait someone in, then they'll stampede, and then the enemy team, because they haven't seen the Ags, they don't know the damage reduction is there. They'll see the damage reduction, it's too late.
Yeah, it's too late. And right now, they need to wait for the Primal Split to come back online. I believe it should be another 40 seconds for the Brewmaster. So before that comes back on, GeekFam, they can comfortably push high ground. But you can see GeekFam, they're taking
Centaur
it
just
slow.
needs to stay out of vision.
Yeah.
Stay out of vision. Do not show the Ags. This Ags is game breaking if they can play this correctly.
DDZ putting himself forward and this.
Okay, I'm really shocked. GeekFam have actually stopped their push entirely.
Yeah, they're playing it a bit too safe. But they can't afford to do that.
I mean, they're going for Roche.
Yeah,
okay,
they can't afford to do
if
that.
they're waiting for Roche, it's fine.
It could be double Stampede. It could be double Finger.
Who do you think the refresher's going to, though?
Lion.
Lion.
I think one Stampede is enough.
Are you sure? I mean, it doesn't have to be safe, right? Double Stampede.
Yeah, I mean, double Finger would be good. But
Finger comes off cooldown 20 seconds.
never mind, Lion isn't there. So double Stampede it is.
He could buy back.
He could buy back. Yep.
There's a 29k gold lead. Okay, just keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, 29k gold lead. If this turns around...
Okay, he did get the Assault Cuirass, so it helps with FlowerGaming a tiny bit.
I mean, that still hurt, though. Look at how much health Candy Loon loses.
He's trying to save for the buyback. He's really close to it.
Look at that. Do you see what Alacrity wants to buy? Yeah, in the bottom right-hand corner, that yellow and green thing. Do you know what that makes? Another yellow thing. Actually, it's yellow and white.
Oh, they're going for Lance. Lance gotta be careful. There's the Godstrain pop. They're going for the Mega right now. So you can see the hacks onto Tino. A lot of damage for the Butterfly though. Forced to pop the BKB is only 5 seconds. The Tino trying to work his way out of everything. They get the Reaper Scythe. That's the Aegis gone.
Are they going to keep fighting?
They're going to try and keep fighting because Abaddon is up in the air.
There's no Stampede.
There is the Shackle. Long range. They might find him. Stampede is used. Damage reduction doesn't matter. Tino down for 100 seconds. Brian goes down as well.
Where's the refresher? Is it still on Centaur?
FlowerGaming, they turn this around.
Where's the refresher?
What? Hello? Oh. What?
They gave it to Sven?
Why?
For double God Strength?
Why? You don't need double God Strength.
The ...
Why? I'm as confused as KYXY is because why would you need double? It doesn't stack, okay? Tino, it doesn't stack. Just give it to Centaur. You can see the Stampede damage reduction actually doesn't do anything. To a Drow. Drow doesn't care. Full damage from the ultimate. And he's actually melting through the tanks. Let's get that one straight. Lance is scary right now.
I'm speechless.
We have not seen an epic comeback yet.
Just, by the way, that team fight sent 4k gold into FlowerGaming's pocket. Now, 4k gold, imagine what you can buy with it.
And the gold difference is starting to get, like you said, redundant.
It's getting redundant. The gap is closing, and these heroes, I mean, they're getting items. If anything, if for example, if Venge can get Ags on her swap, if she can get Ags, you will never catch it. You will never ever see Venge because Mosin should be sitting far away at the very back in her base, getting ready for a swap. Not literally, but you get the idea. Oh, GeekFam.
Pulling on our heartstrings right now.
They can. I can feel the tension.
You can see the lack of blink on Lion starting to kick in. If he had that blink. If only he had that blink.
He's still not going for the blink. He's going for...
He's committed. It's like, I don't need a blink.
He's going for Octarine.
Why
He's
not?
trying to get the cooldown reduction. He wants a 15-second cooldown Finger of Death. Which I can
I mean, the
get.
blink could have made a difference. we called it out like 20 minutes ago.
Oh my
Actually,
goodness.
30 minutes ago because he got his axe at 16 minutes.
I'm just surprised he went for the...
Shh.
I mean, he can get rid of his stick.
I thought axe is like, okay, axe, he's going to go to blink. But no, axe, Kaya.
Just get rid of the Shadow Blade, change it to a blink. Get rid of the Shadow Blade. I mean, we shouldn't really be telling Rampo how to play because he's been playing like a boss up until this point.
Yeah,
but
because he went for the axe 16 minutes in. That's the best you can ask
But
for.
I feel like now that the game is getting later and later, I really think...
Oh, Candy, he has the buyback, so he should be fine. But that's the Finger use, instant buyback.
I mean, it's 20-second cooldown. Doesn't matter if Finger's been used.
Flower tried to smoke for a wraparound, but unfortunately, GeekFam, they got the jump.
But look at this, though. If GeekFam don't push, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, yeah.
Because Flower, they're still farming. They're still getting more items.
Octarine for Lion.
15-second cooldown on a Finger of Death.
That's not a buyback, though. So if they kill him off, it's a small plus.
It's some pretty big heroes with no buyback. Sven doesn't have buyback. Is Alacrity close to getting his Divine Rapier?
This is super close, but I think it's safe for buyback as well.
What does he remove, though? Shadow Blade? A crit?
I think Shadow Blade.
Or maybe even BK. I mean, I kind of think he needs a BKB.
Or he can remove one Daedalus. Alright. Or
I'd say Daedalus.
Yeah. FlowerGaming, they are... Here's the good thing. They know how to play from behind.
I mean, they've probably played so many games like this.
Yeah. And the only difference between GeekFam and Unicorn is that if this is Unicorn, FlowerGaming will have lost the game 20 minutes ago. Because Unicorn, they know how to close out a game effectively. But GeekFam, they are either in this over-complacent position or they're just overzealous.
I honestly think they're playing too safe. I think
they're
playing too safe. They're trying to get items to win them the game. Like honestly, it looked like they were waiting for Divine Rapier to pop. Now the issue here, right? Divine Rapier.
It's already popped.
I know. I mean, like even though it's made, it's one of those items. You mess up with your positioning. You die with Divine Rapier. You can screw the game.
And he has no buyback. You gotta remember that. I'm not sure if FlowerGaming saw that, but I think they did.
I think there's pings.
Yeah, I think they might have spotted that out because he got rid of his Shadow Blade, which means no invisibility for this Kunkka.
He has Blink, right? Yeah, he has Blink.
Got strength. Yeah,
are they trying to bait with Mozen again?
I think it's round number 3, round number 4 even.
I really think...
They get the swap in. Mozen's gonna sacrifice himself now. They get the God Strike in. They go for DD. They go for the Barry. Barry does buy back. They find Mozen. Mozen buy back as well, but Lance is still untouched right now. KYXY goes for the double stamping refresher of the Finger. They find DDZ. DDZ buybacks as well. They lose Sven. Sven has buyback, but I don't think he want to use it. And they lose Santo as well. 120 seconds on the clock. And the Centaur gets swapped right in. Actually, no, Brian gets swapped right in. Reaper's Side's going to keep it in place for now. They lose Brian as well. FlowerGaming hold high ground for the 10th time in a row.
That was very expensive defense, though. That was 3 buybacks. That was both supports and DDZ, whereas, I mean, for GeekFam, they didn't lose Alacrity, so they still have their Divine Rapier. Sure, they lost 3 heroes, but 2 of them, which are their most important heroes, have buyback.
Haven's Halberd now for Panda after so long, and it's good for them. Oh, they find Rampo.
Can they get him? Still chasing.
That pulse is following him. They're coming in with the smoke. They have the dust. Rampo.
They found him.
Yeah, Rampo is dead.
He should be dead.
He is dead.
If he had Blink, he would have gotten out.
If he had Blink.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. Although I really still think he should get a Blink Dagger at some point. That fight, if he had the Blink, he can even come forward, Earth Spike, Hex.
Yeah.
Maybe even save his teammate. He could have saved Sven, actually.
He could have saved everyone. The game wouldn't have been so long if he had the Blink.
Shaman now has BKB, so these fights,
Good
as
luck.
the supports get BKB, it's going to be much more difficult for GeekFam to engage. Now, do they know if Alacrity has a Divine Rapier? They should have seen it.
They should have seen it.
They should have seen it, but they don't know how many buybacks there are.
The use. Cancel X-Box.
Can they kill him?
You can't die.
Alacrity!
He has buyback. Divine Rapier on the ground. Lance is gonna get that. He has the DD rune as well. Buyback comes out from every single member of GeekFam except for Sven. But FlowerGaming, they're confident. They get the swap in. They get the shackle. They get KYXY. 5-shot double kill for DDZ. Alacrity with the buyback. FlowerGaming seems like they're doing it. Tino is desperate, but Tino is disarmed. Heaven's Helper means that he gets nothing.
GeekFam!
He has buyback. Use onto Lion. Lion goes invisible. FlowerGaming looking for the first set of racks in 51 minutes. They are going for the end game and they might get it. Glyph is used. FlowerGaming, they are going for it. They are doing it. The epic comeback. Buyback from Tino. Double kill from Lance. GeekFam are desperate, but desperation will not help. FlowerGaming complete the comeback and get the 2-0 over GeekFam.
That Yules. That one Yules. Look at the graph. It's gone downwards in one moment. They catch Alacrity. They take his Divine Rapier. The game's over. Absolutely over. It shouldn't have ended like that. Alacrity, he got so complacent.
Game should have ended 30 minutes ago.
Did he not see them coming down mid?
I think he... I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Maybe he thought because he had BKB he was fine.
But they had the use.
Gosh,
I'm speechless. I'm actually speechless.
I'm actually confused because that was supposed to be the game that GeekFam was going to win.
Yeah, they had the dream for 50 minutes. And they threw it all away. I mean, what can I say? You know, it's just they are just a bit too complacent. Like
that was
they're either too hyper aggressive or they're too laid back. There's no in between.
I have to ask you because I think this is what I think it is. Was this the biggest throw in the tournament? Because I think there was a 29k gold lead for GeekFam. I think it was 29k.
It was 29k.
Yeah, it was a pretty big lead.
It was the biggest throw. It was a Divine Rapier throw, and it was a throw that GeekFam had. I mean, GeekFam had the lead for 50 minutes.
This would have been an absolutely different team fight if Alacrity was in base and he didn't get swapped into the fight.
I just want the Blink Dagger on Lion, honestly. Just go Blink. Yeah, this. Can you imagine having the lead for 50 minutes?
I mean, you could. I really think they were too confident in defending because they thought, all right, they're going to come into our base. We have buybacks. We're ready. Where's the Divine Rapier?
They should have realized at one point that they could not reach Lance. Because Lance was just free hitting.
No, it's not even that. Like, do you know how much protection he had? Every time they go after Lance, Shaman would throw Serpent Wards. You'd get Avenge Stun. You get Panda coming and standing between you and Lance. Like, there was... We said this during the draft, right? Like, the thing with Lance, you just have to protect him.
Yeah.
Do everything and protect him.
Yeah, exactly. And we do have some news from production. We're too excited about that comeback. But here's a bit
bad news.
Bad news. So next series was supposed to be between, I believe, JuniorGaming and TeamX. But unfortunately, JuniorGaming have to forfeit their series. Oh, they have forfeited the series due to unforeseen circumstances. So we will not have that happen.
So TeamX will be getting
solidify second place. But I'm pretty sure the last game between FlowerGaming and GeekFam have kind of made up for the rest of the day.
It was a nice finale. I have to agree.
Yeah, I would be happy closing out the day on this. But let us check out the results for today after that forfeit and catch our breath for a while.
You'll catch your breath. You're the one that gone kind of crazy there. So let's look at our results for today, which was basically the only one game we really had, which was Flower versus GeekFam. So close to being 1-1. So close.
GeekFam was so close to locking in 4th place.
Would it have locked in first place? I think it would have at least locked in the possible tiebreaker.
Yeah,
but
I don't.
Unfortunate. It was like you said, they just couldn't close the game. Yeah. They really struggled closing the game. They were playing, like, we may call it complacent, but I think the best way to describe it was they were playing too safe.
Yeah, they tried the same thing at least 5 times. Pop God String with the smoke, blink right in with the Sven, try to catch someone, carry X5 goes right in. The X Stampede did nothing, honestly, because Lance didn't care. His ultimate just pierced through everyone. With that being said, it will affect the standings as well, so let's take a look at the standings by the end of week 6. Unicorn stand undefeated in first place with 36 points, effectively locking in that first seat for sure. TeamX locking in 2nd seat, FlowerGaming locking in 3rd seat, and it's now the battle for 4th place between Dota Hero, GeekFam, P1 Gaming, and possibly Legenda.
Oh boy, next week. Lots of things going on. GeekFam, they can still make it. So can Dota Hero.
But GeekFam are going up against Unicorn. I'm sorry for laughing at this, but after that last game, I have very little confidence that this team is going to make it through. Especially against Unicorn, who we saw effectively closed out 2 games against FlowerGaming, and I hate to do a comparison of this magnitude, but if it was Unicorn in that previous game, it would have ended pretty quickly. So JuniorGaming will fight Team Legenda for their last series. Team Legenda has a great chance. Unicorn going up against GeekFam. This is the game of their lives. I mean,
GeekFam have to win at least one game.
Yeah.
If GeekFam wins one game, Dirty Hero has to tie with TeamX.
Exactly.
If GeekFam wants to make it. If Dirty Hero 2-0 TeamX,
then GeekFam
is done regardless, because there's no way GeekFam can 2-0 Unicorn.
Yeah. FlowerGaming will be taking on P1 as well. That should be almost a guarantee win for FlowerGaming.
Now, there is one more situation, which is the Legenda situation.
Yeah.
Where if GeekFam get 2-0'd and Dirty Hero also get 2-0'd and Legenda 2-0 their game, then it's a 3-way tie.
Yeah, but it's
very
a dream scenario. You need to have the stars align. And like I mentioned, like we pointed out during the start of the broadcast, Legenda, they are living on a prayer. They literally have to pray that the other team loses and they win 2 games. And for Legenda, winning games has been a problem during the second half of the group stage. And I think they face the same problem as Dota Hero, which is they make mistakes they made to late game, and to a certain extent, GeekFam in game number 2 just now. Complacency.
Wow. I can see a lot of people maybe being frustrated with GeekFam. I think for that last game, just thinking, when was the game going to end? I mean, I was actually cheering for GeekFam because I thought, wow, they're going to take this game off of Flower. It's going to put them in such a good position for next week.
Yeah.
But this happens. Like, it just blows up in their face. I can't imagine how devastated these guys are.
This is a heartbreak of just I can't find a word
of
for
a
it.
big magnitude that we can't explain.
Well, we ended the day with a high with FlowerGaming with the impossible comeback, and
it wasn't impossible. It was possible because they did
nearly impossible. Okay, better way to put it, and a devastating heartbreak for GeekFam after that Divine Reaper throw. But that does it for today and of week number 6. We still have one more week for the group stage to see who will make it to top 4. It is a battle for 4th place next week. And until then, good night. We'll see you next week, and goodbye.